my whole life, and I see the awful, terrible things in my life and turn it into something funny.
And action.
It's time to start the show. The gang is ready. Let's go. Jim and Sam. Jim and Sam. Jim and Sam.
It's happening, you guys. It's happening. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I wish you were over here.
I'm like getting the feeling of coming in the gym. I'm getting the feeling of coming at home. I'm getting the feeling of coming backstage when I pump up, when I pose out in front of 5,000 people. I get the same feeling. So I'm coming day and night.
Stop the hammering.
Now you want to get nuts? Come on. Let's get nuts.
Let me have a Diablo sandwich, a Dr. Pepper. Make it fast. I'm in a goddamn hurry.
And God bless the United States.
I'm a proud shitholer.
Dilly dilly.
I'm a little bit country, and I'm a little bit rock and roll.
Don't put this in the intro. La 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 la. La 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 la.
A penis?
Shocking, right?
Now, if any of you sons of bitches got anything else to say, now's the fucking time!
Hey, everybody. Jim and Sam are here. It's time to celebrate the moment. I feel it in my soul. It's written in my bones so deeply. I wanna lose control. So turn it up a little more and laugh along with me. Show is about to begin. Series 103. Yeah. So get ready. Yeah, I'm so ready. Like 1, 2, 3, 4. Hey, everybody. Jim and Sam are here. Sing it like, hey, are you ready? Jim and Sam are here. Feel it like, hey, everybody. Jim and Sam are here. So if you feel it like I do, you gotta sing it with me too. Like, hey, everybody. Jim and Sam are here. Yuck.
Yeah,
What? That's crisp. What is that?
just a couple of nerds.
No. Last time I checked, you're a nerd. Matt Serra's a nerd. John Jones is a nerd. Not me though.
No, that's true.
I'm still on
You're
the
beneath.
I'm still on the cool side of
You're
things.
not.
Yes, I am.
You're beneath being a nerd.
There's nerds and there's cool dudes. And me and Kobe Covington are cool dudes.
We were just talking about. I was away when I got texts from people going, "Colby's trashing you at media day."
Yeah, I texted you.
yeah, but I got a couple.
I'm sure.
He was great on this show. I'll address that. Colby came on the show. I didn't know if I would like him. I'm like, is he going to be cool? Is he going to be a dick? But he was
That's
great.
because you're a nerd. Of course you didn't know.
Well, I was afraid he might pick on me and put my head in the toilet.
Exactly.
But he was.
Were you nervous when he was talking about the nerd bash movement? Like, oh, I hope I don't get bashed.
Yes.
I hope he doesn't find out.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like the last thing I need is to be roped into an 80s insult.
Nerd bash.
But I liked him a lot when he was in here. I thought he was really funny, and I liked how his attitude. Like he was a fun guy. Like you could see that he's a great fighter, but he was also talking shit. But you could kind of see his energy when he was in the room. He's not a dick.
When he was talking about like how he likes to have sex with all the girls and he goes and has sex with all those Brazilian girls, and he's just doing his thing.
He's just doing his thing. When he bashed John Jones, like, look, I don't know what their history is, and I really don't know what's true and what's not, but I really like John, so that I kind of felt bad.
Yeah, I like John,
just
too.
because John wasn't here to defend himself, but whatever.
Yeah, if I was John Jones, I would hate him. Mm-hmm. He said terrible things about John Jones.
Who did respond. Yeah, John was not happy.
Oh, we'll get to that, I guess.
But then on UFC Unfiltered the next day, or 2 days later, I was interviewing, he was scheduled to call in, and we had a guy named Kamaru Usman, and he bashed. And
now, is that a MMA podcast, or is that more geek culture for nerds?
It was supposed to be UFC-oriented, but they allowed 2 nerds to run it. We just nerded it up. But we also had CM Punk calling, and he thinks
Did he accuse you of being a nerd?
He did not, no.
Oh.
But he's the one who actually I told you he grabbed me at the event last year,
Uh-huh.
and I didn't recognize him because he had his beard,
Uh-huh.
and I almost hit him. I was not out of being tough, out of reaction. I thought it was a fan grabbing me. I told you that story. So we have Colby
I wish you
on.
hit him.
Thank God I didn't. And Kamaro's in the studio, and they're talking a little bit of shit, not crazy. And then Colby hangs up on us. I guess he was annoyed, but it wasn't that bad. And then he bashes me at media day like I tried to set him up.
Well, let's hear what Colby Covington had to say. We played this on Friday, and I did point out that this was completely about Unfiltered.
Yeah, it was not about our show.
Not about me. I am not in the Nerd Bash movement.
Not at all.
Nope.
How'd you like media in New York? Did you like the Jim and Sam show on XM Radio?
No. Jim's a loser. He's another nerd, so you know he'll never get me on his podcast ever again. I have nothing to say to that loser.
What's your problem with Jim?
You know, he tried to set me up yesterday. He tried to put me on the phone call with some other loser in my division. Dude, I'm fighting for a belt, man. Why you trying to waste my time, dude? I guess he didn't want that little short, fat, little midget Matt Serra to talk on the podcast, so he had to bring another opponent of me on. The thing is, Matt Serra's losing a fight to diabetes right now, 10-8, so he has no chance of beating me in a fight.
Well, yeah, of course not. You're an active fighter, retired. Right. But first of all, and I didn't tweet a huge big response. I don't book UFC Unfiltered.
No?
No.
This wasn't a plan for you to throw him under the bus?
No, it wasn't. We knew for weeks that they were going to be on together, or at least 2 weeks.
Right.
I knew that that was just the skill. We had CM Punk, we had Colby calling in, we had Kamaru in. And then when you talk to him, he's like, yeah, I don't get distracted. That's all fun for me. So I didn't think he'd give a shit.
Right.
Like, of course you want them to talk to each other, but I didn't think it was this big distraction to his belt because he doesn't seem like he gives a fuck.
Right.
He was in here saying, no, I don't get it. Doesn't bother me at all.
Right.
So why would he care if he was just jawing with Kamaru Usman? Who gave a shit? Didn't seem like a big deal, but whatever. Either way, he was...
He hung up?
He did hang up, yeah. So whatever, I'm a nerd.
Funny.
I'm in good company. If he hates me, he hates me. I mean, I'm in company with John Jones, Fabricio Verdum, Matt Serra, Tyron Woodley, and all of Brazil.
Yeah. Except the ladies.
Except for the ladies. He fucks them all.
Yeah.
But he looked good, though, man. He's fucking... he kissed Joe on the cheek. I guess him and Joe made up.
I guess so.
I guess Joe's not as easy to bash when you're right there with fucking rock-headed Joe Rogan.
Well, there's also something that, I mean, people have to realize, and I pointed this out on Friday, is that guys like you and Joe, even though Joe is also a legit tough guy.
Oh, boy. He's a black belt, yeah.
Yeah. You guys also talk for a living. So as much credit as a UFC fighter gets for talking shit, it's still, 1% of what a comedian does.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if it's going to, because you guys aren't going to go into fisticuffs. There's not going to be a physical fight. So in terms of, like, throwing insults back and forth, you and Joe are going to be just fine.
Yeah, I didn't want to insult him back even. Like it was, I got what he did, and I get why I got why he thought we threw him under the bus. I actually called my producer. I'm like, the UFC books this shit, and he goes, well, technically I did. So the producer got Kamaru Usman to be on the show.
So he's the nerd.
Weeks before. No, but I mean, he just did it because for obvious reasons. Hey, they'll argue. But I didn't book that. I don't fucking know who puts him on the show. What do you think? I called Kamaru Usman and said, "Come on, we got Colby.
We're gonna get him. We're gonna get Kobe."
Our fucking guests cancel half the time anyway. But either way, he looked amazing, dude. I wanted to see him win that fight either way because I think him and Tyron Woodley is a great fight, and he's fun to watch. I mean, and I would rather have a guy like that who's at least entertaining in his interviews and.
Yeah, I watch those fights. I always like the guys that talk shit.
Yeah.
I was hoping he would win, too. And he did.
He was tremendous.
Yeah.
He was fucking tremendous.
All the fights went the distance. I couldn't believe how long the show was.
Yeah, split decisions, too.
Yeah.
His was not a split decision.
I bought the pay-per-view and watched it, but, like, it was after 1 o'clock by the time it went off.
Yeah, Romero and Whitaker. Fucking Whitaker had no right hand for at least 2 rounds of that fight.
Was it that long that he...
I think so, yeah.
Wow.
A broken right hand.
I didn't realize you broke it that early, though.
I think so, yeah. He said it might have been in the second round he broke his thumb, I think.
Man, oh, man.
And, that's the only one. I don't care about Conor and Nadia. I want to see a third fight between Romero and Whitaker.
Now, Whitaker won. He's won both fights, is that right?
He won both, yeah. I think the first one was by unanimous decision. This was by split, I think.
So the fact that this was split decision, does that mean that they're probably going to do a third fight? Or because, there's no need for a rubber match?
Yeah, Joe Rogan said rubber match. I think he said that erroneously in the ring. Would you want a rubber match? Because
there's no reason
there's
for
no
one.
need for it. But a third match, I would take a third one anyway because it was so close. And it was fucking such an entertaining fight. These guys just fight each other well. I mean, and then fucking...
just a fun thing to watch.
Oh, my God. Remember, dropped him, too? I mean, because he just kind of lulls you to sleep, and then he drops you. He's tremendous.
Joe was very funny on commentary during the CM Punk fight.
Yes, he was.
My favorite quote in that thing was when he was like, too many people watch that movie Rocky.
Yeah.
that's not how it works.
I liked. Look.
And there was also this moment where, like, before the pay-per-view started, because I think everybody that knows UFC knows that, all due respect to Punk, that fight had no business being on the pay-per-view. I think is a business move. But any MMA fan, of which I am not one of, I'm as casual. I like the show business part of it. I get like 3 or 4 pay-per-views a year, maybe.
Sure.
But even I knew from the perspective of like a hardcore MMA fan, all of them had to be pissed that fight was on pay-per-view.
No, they were probably happy because if anyone who has a piece of the pay-per-view is happy he was on it.
I meant the fans.
Oh, the fan, yeah. A lot of the fans want to see it too because he did legitimately train. I think for 4 years he's been training.
Punk.
Yeah, it's not like he's just stepping in and going, "Hi guys, I'm a wrestler." Like he really cares about it. He's 39.
Yeah,
it's hard to come in when you're 39.
I didn't realize it had been almost 2 years since his last fight.
Oh yeah,
and he's been working the whole time, man. Like, he's not making a lot of money doing this.
No, yeah. I mean, he gave up his career.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I respect him, even though he lost, and the other guy won decisively. But he's very tough, man. He still did. Yeah, the other guy was annoying. Mike Jackson was annoying.
He's terrible.
With those, Dana really bashed him.
I was happy when I saw that because I was watching that fight and my reaction was that I was pretty proud of Punk for going the distance. Like by the time you were a minute into the second round, I was watching going like, just turn the guy's lights out. Like Punk's first round was actually pretty good.
Yeah,
especially compared to where he came from. I thought I'm no expert, but by the time he got into the second round, I was like, okay, it's over for this.
Yeah,
dude.
you're just going to see the guy getting hurt.
But I couldn't believe that he survived the whole way. You know what I mean? He was getting the shit kicked out of him. You could see after the fight what he looked like. He survived the whole way and stood up at the end. I was like, I think he accomplished whatever he set out to do. I mean, realistically, he couldn't have thought, I'm going to become, one of the great MMA fighters.
No, but he might have thought he definitely had a shot at beating Mike Jackson on the ground. I mean, Mike Jackson's a better boxer, but he definitely had a shot. Like you can always submit somebody, you can always land a punch, and
sure.
But Dana really bashed Mike Jackson. He really. Wait, can you see Mike Jackson's quote at the bottom too? Sure. I'm curious as to what that was.
Would you want to?
I just want to see what he said.
I think that was his response. Do you want to hear Dana White's statement first before we read his response?
Okay.
Yeah.
Do we have Dana?
Yeah. We have.
Okay.
We'll just play the audio because it'll be easier for Troy to find that way.
Michael Jackson, I'm not happy with. This guy was acting like a goofball tonight. You get this opportunity to come in and fight CM Punk, and you're doing like bolo punches to the body on top. Never looked like he was trying to finish the fight ever, right? Looked like he could have finished the fight a few times. Never tried. I don't know what that guy did for a living before we gave him the shot, but whatever it was, he needs to go back and do that again. He's 0-2 as far as I'm concerned.
But there was also, he called him a fucking idiot too. Before that, he goes, "Yeah, that fucking idiot."
Yeah,
it's just
he's the greatest. Can you imagine sitting there and you're like, I got this shot for UFC. I'm on pay-per-view. I win the first fight against Punk. He's probably in his head going like, "Oh, I'm going to make so much money now. Everybody saw me." And then you turn on the press conference after the fight, and the CEO is just the guy in charge is calling you a fucking idiot. And you're like, "What? What?"
Yeah, he could have put him away a lot sooner. He could have. He
on didn't
top
put him away at all.
That's what I'm saying. He was on top, just hitting him, like throwing these weird. I guess they're called bolo punches. It looks weird.
There, yeah.
What are you doing?
I was watching that, and even as like a novice fan, I was going, you could have ended this in the second round. Like you could have choked him, tapped him, knocked him out, done something. Because Punk, like you saw somebody I posted on Instagram a thing that like I had respect for the fact that CM Punk accomplished this, and somebody on Instagram or Twitter or something tweeted like, it looks like one guy got run over by a truck and the other just went to the mall. Like, you know what I mean? The difference between the damage that Punk took and the non-damage that Mike Jackson took. By the way, I was talking about this on YouTube yesterday too, and I spent like 5 minutes straight calling him Mike Jones.
Why?
I forgot. It's just like brain fart.
Yeah, I mean, Mike Jackson, what kind of name? That doesn't ring with anybody named Michael Jackson. Why would you remember that?
How could you remember it? It's so difficult. Mike Jones.
The one and only.
That's right.
So
do you want to go back to Dana?
Yeah. I mean, do we? If we have that one,
he
quote.
kept going.
Oh, he did.
He was good. Yeah.
To that point, it seemed like he was trying to milk it to stay on TV longer. Did you get that sense?
I got the sense that he's a complete fucking idiot,
Oh.
and I couldn't wait for that fight to end, and I regretted not putting it on Fight Pass.
Is that it for his UFC career? Or
Yeah, that's it for his UFC career. Yeah, I wouldn't put that kid in the Contender Series.
I just love that because you come out of it, and Dana's like, you know what? Clearly, the fight was not a good fight, but Punk showed a lot of heart. He had
did
nothing,
show a lot of heart,
He had
yeah.
nothing bad to say about Punk.
No, the guy lost, but he went in there. He took it seriously, and he really tried.
Yes, and anybody watching that, you're crazy if you don't think that. But to then turn around and be like, that guy who beat him, though, fuck him. It's great. I loved it because that's the same thing I was thinking as I was watching. And people were like, oh, it was fixed, or oh, he was just trying to go the 3 rounds, or he was playing with him. And I'm going, maybe he didn't put him away on purpose, but to what end? Like, maybe you would know better than me. What possible strategy is there to making that fight go as long as it did?
Because then there's guys who would taunt their opponents and play with them, like Anderson Silva would do that type of shit, where he would throw kicks and he would put it wound up costing him with Weidman, but he would do that to get in your head and to fuck with you, and it was a part of his strategy in the fight, where he gets you so angry, but he's also fighting guys that he knows can knock him out.
Right, exactly.
He's also fighting guys that he's worried about, whether it's submitting him or knocking him out, or he's fighting guys who are dangerous threats and he knows it. Once he had you, you got. But then again, he did that against, I think it was Damian Maia, and he couldn't finish him. Anderson Silva, I think it was against Maia.
But we're not talking about,
But I'm saying where he was taunting him and fucking with him and showboating, and then he just couldn't put him away. And I think the fight went the distance, if I remember correctly.
So do you think that this guy, Mike Jackson, honestly thought, oh boy, I don't want to count my chickens here?
No. He's doing it because he saw guys like Anderson Silva doing it. It looks great.
And he wants to be this dominant
Instead
guy.
of realizing those guys are doing it because they're fighting someone that they know is. I mean, look, CM Punk could knock you out if he hits, of course. But that's not why he was doing it. When he's on top of him like that, that's not why he was doing it.
He's stupid then, because nobody watching that fight was sitting there going like, oh man, look at this Mike Jackson go. He's
No.
He's got zero charisma. He stunk.
When you're on top of a guy and you're in full mount and you're just kind of throwing, little lazy punches.
Yeah.
It just looks stupid.
It did look stupid.
I just want to see what Mike Jackson, what he said.
Yeah. What was Mike Jackson's response? It said, he tweeted a meme of Desus and Mero, and he said, I'm legit confused here. I'm trying to figure out how I was cocky and taunting. I'm sorry. I didn't knock out Phil. Dude is hella tough. And I didn't want to get caught with some dumb shit. I don't believe him.
Not when you're on top like that. I don't believe it.
No, it doesn't make sense.
No.
Especially deep into, maybe in that second round. But once you're in the third round, where it's like CM Punk had zero offense left in him.
Yeah.
He was exhausted, At one point, you saw his legs wobbling around, and that's not an insult to Punk. It's a difficult thing to do. But to not finish that is embarrassing, I think.
Yeah, for him, yeah. When you're on top
Jackson,
of a guy,
yeah.
When you're on top of him and just throwing punches like that. But whatever.
Yeah, it was quite a weekend for sport.
It's the only sport I watched.
So you didn't watch the NBA finals?
No, I don't care about that.
I didn't watch it either. I figured
4 straight. Yeah.
Yeah, I figured what would happen happened. I feel
Sam Morril picked him in 5. He said him in 5. We were talking, and he was almost right after that first game. It was probably almost right.
Right. Yeah, I mean, and that's why I feel bad for LeBron, because he's trying to create this reputation as being the greatest of all time, but a lot of people were saying greatest of all times don't get swept.
That's not his fault. That's not true. The Lakers got swept against I think it was the Pistons. What was it, 88? Jabbar's last game was game 4 of a fucking 4 straight sweep.
I'm only laughing because last time we tried to talk about basketball, we went right back to Jabbar.
But I don't watch basketball.
I don't either.
That's my frame of reference. Is he's the highest scorer in NBA history, and fucking Magic Johnson was on that team, and James Worthy was on that team, and I want to say it was 88 or 89. They got swept 4 straight.
Yeah, and then you didn't watch the horsey racing.
No, Triple Crown. I don't give a shit about that.
I don't either. I could not give two shits about it. Although I was laughing because the one
who rides him, Stevie Cawthon. Is that who it is?
The one horse that I knew.
That guy's hair was. He was a colonel from Boogie Nights.
He really.
I hear the horse has got quite a cock on it.
He's just holding a dead horse, and he's like, I don't touch them. I don't touch them. The only reason I got excited that I found out that the horsey that won the other 2 races won this race was because I remembered that when we talked about it on Friday, that was the one horse that Shitlove said he definitely was not going to bet on. So I knew that he had lost money. Because he said he did. I said, Shitlove, there's not going to be a Triple Crown, right? And he went, no way.
It is rare, but
So he didn't bet on what was the name of the horse? Legacy? Yeah.
Justify.
Justify?
Yeah,
He did,
right there.
He didn't bet on yes. He didn't bet on Justify.
Somebody on Deadspin had a great point that this really just killed the mystique of Triple Crown for like an entire generation.
Why?
Because before American Pharaoh did it 3 years ago,
Yeah.
it hadn't been done in like 25 years. There was a whole generation,
right?
My generation that had never seen a Triple Crown, didn't know if it was going to ever happen again,
right?
And now there's a bunch of people who've seen 2 and 3 years.
That's true. Now it seems like if a horse is real good at one, of course it'll win all the races.
Yeah.
You know, like of course it's the best horse. Why wouldn't it win the other races?
Even
too?
though like, it's only been done 13 times or something. Like it's super rare.
But
what was Stevie Cawthon's horse name? That's what I remember from when I was a kid. That's the one I remember from when I was a kid. That was Was that 25 years ago? Or was that before that even?
Who are you thinking about? Secretariat?
No.
I love that you remember the jockey.
I do.
Affirmed was the last one to win before American Pharaoh.
Who rode that one?
That's just important here, Travis. Stop giving these horses.
That's what I remember because he was a famous jockey.
How many famous jockeys are there?
That's what I'm saying. There's not a lot.
Not a lot. I've never heard of this Stevie Kaufman.
Cawthon.
Okay, Coffin.
Cawthon.
Like what you die in?
Cauthin, I think, or Thin. Yeah.
I can't even make fun of Troy for not being able to spell it. I never heard of this man in my life. Stevie Cawthon. He's a jockey.
What year did he win the Triple Crown? I think.
Are you familiar with Stevie Cawthon, Travis?
Nope.
Let's see. Europe, North America. 1978, he became the youngest jockey to ever win the U.S. Triple Crown,
okay,
riding Affirmed.
Okay.
Yes, 1978.
And that was the last one.
For
until
37 years.
3 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that was my whole generation. I wasn't.
Wish we had replay.
Do you think that was cute?
It was so stupid.
Think Sam's a bit of an asshole, Troy?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, no, I would agree. It was in my head the whole time because Travis actually said, so he was like, "That's my generation," and I was like, "Oh, I can't get it out of my head now." When Travis said, my generation, I almost asked him, "Is that who you're talking about?" But I didn't say that.
That would have been better.
But I couldn't let it go.
No, it would have been much better.
But in my head, I couldn't let it go. I was like, I'm not going to do that. That's stupid.
But the stutter was even stupider.
Because I couldn't. I had to do
fucking boo. Oh my God!
I couldn't.
Stupid fucking blabbermouth cunt!
I couldn't let it go. It was just in my head, and it was stuck in there. And until I made reference to it,
I know you should have just went to the bathroom. You should have excused yourself and done it at the urinal. My generation.
Sam, don't let him try to put you down.
Yeah. More.
I couldn't. Yeah.
But you know what? As much as the Who does irritate me,
Right.
my old pal Roger signed our photo. I do like that song.
It's a good
I hate
song.
to. There's some. Their hits are
It
really
was
good.
awesome.
It's a good song.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
No, they're not awesome.
Bob
Yes, they
O'Reilly's a good song.
Yes.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I'm a little sick of it, but it is.
Pinball Wizard's a great song.
Yeah.
They're great.
Jukebox Hero.
The hit.
Us Foreigner.
Yeah, I don't know if that's the same. The hits are very good.
I hated Tommy. Behind Blue Eyes is great.
Behind Blue
Fucking
Eyes?
Tommy, the dummy rock opera.
Well, of course you didn't like Tommy. It hit too close to home.
Why?
But a kid getting fiddled with.
Oh, was it? I don't remember.
Yeah, of course you don't remember that part.
Quadrophenia.
I just think about the pinball part.
I don't remember.
There's a whole song called Fiddled About.
You respect what they do in their personal time, though.
Well, some of them. You're starting to look like Pete Townsend. You know that, right?
Especially when he's off doing his stuff that he does in his free time.
Yeah, I hope I don't acquire some of his hobbies.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Doing research for a book.
Yeah, Travis has a bunch of loads under the fucking top of his desk under the guise of research.
He mainly looks like Pete Townsend when he's on the dark web.
Sure does. Old fucking Silk Road theft. We should talk, I guess, about Anthony Bourdain.
Well, I was going to ask you about that because I didn't get to talk to you about it.
No. Wait, did you talk about it on Friday or no?
Mhm.
Oh, you did. It was Friday. Okay.
Yeah, literally, I'll tell you, Travis, we were
Oh,
sitting
that's right. Friday morning. I was like, God.
we were sitting in the office and Travis was annoyed because, we're all big Anthony Bourdain fans. So you remember where you were, whatever. And Travis was annoyed that Shitloaf was the one that came in and broke the news to him that Anthony Bourdain had offed himself.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll always remember Shitloaf.
I was about to go on at Mike Calta show. It was just like literally, I hear him talking about it. Like Google, I heard Anthony Bourdain. So I didn't think that happened.
No, we got it really early. CNN was the first to post it, which is not surprising since he was doing a
they were the ones
CNN
to
show.
shoot, yeah.
But everybody picked up after it.
He was a really nice dude too, man. It was
Great.
It was one of those crazy moments. Like I guess again, I have no idea what was going through his head, but they said he did it with a bathrobe with the terry cloth belt around the bathrobe, and that's probably something. Here's my guess: that's something he had done 100 times. That is something he had probably done 100 times. He had probably put it around his neck, felt the pressure of it. Even I don't know if he ever put it in between a door jam or did any of that, but I guarantee you, if he had been regularly suicidal, he had absolutely acted that out before.
It's interesting. That's always your take on it.
I firmly believe, unless something just happens where a guy gets arrested and he's going to prison and just does it. I think the guys who are known to be depressed, who eventually do it, I think have walked to the edge of that fucking cliff many, many times and just not done it.
Not to say they were trying, but to say like,
oh, not trying. No.
This is what it would be.
This is what it would be. Hey, do I have the balls to do this? What does this feel like? Let me see how this feels. Yeah. Okay. And you start to feel it, and that to me is something he had probably done. That's why I say that, because eventually you just do it. I don't think that again with a gunshot it's different. You hang yourself like that. I think a lot of the times because you give yourself the illusion that you can back out of it. And you probably
maybe in your subconscious.
Well, no, in your conscious mind too. Like a lot of times, you probably do it knowing you can back out. He had probably felt it, like put it up against in door jams and just leaned in and felt it. You know, again, if you're depressed for all those years, and then you eventually hang yourself, that's not the first time you thought of it,
right? Especially when it's like seemingly out of nowhere. That means it's kind of always there, right?
And they said he had been in a very dark mood. You know,
and exhausted.
His crew said he was tired, and exhausted. And it's one of those things. There was nothing that happened. You don't just do it out of nowhere. You know, again, if your wife just left you, then maybe all right, you just fucking do it. But if you're been in a dark mood and you've been like regularly suicidal for 13 years,
yeah, I mean that's the thing about depression and mental illness and stuff like that. Anybody trying to figure out like, well, what was the thing that made him want to do this? It's like it's not. It's just it's this omnipresent thing in your brain.
It's always there. There's always that trap door you're walking around. It's always there. You always know it's there. Even when you're feeling good, you know it's in the floor. And then one time you just sit, and you walk up to it and you look in, and then one time you just go, fuck it, and you step into it.
Right.
And that's the first time that you can't talk yourself out of it. That's all that is.
Sometimes it's nothing's going wrong and everything's going well. And it's like you have a moment to yourself and you realize this is as good as it's ever going to get and I still feel like this. You know what I mean? I'm sure that can be a big part of it.
Or you have that moment where, man, my friend's waiting for me at dinner. And there's nothing crazy, nothing extraordinary in the moment. You just got that fucking thing in your head, whether you think you're worthless or you're shit or you're a fraud. Fuck this. And it just happens, and you let the door close.
Right. The reality is, I mean, if somebody, like, it probably would have passed, you know, that sort of overwhelming urge to do it. It probably would have passed had he not just...
Sure.
But it would not that it would have gone away.
It never goes away. It never goes away. It's always just kind of there.
It's like a roller coaster. You're up and you're up.
Yeah.
And then when it's down, it's like, man, what am I doing? I have nothing to live for.
Right.
And then you come back up and you're like, okay, I'm okay. Everything's fine.
Yeah.
I'm good. And then sometimes you go on even
right
lower.
Back down.
You
Yeah.
know, and you're just down there and you're like, man, like I could be done in a second. All this could be gone.
Yeah, this could be finished.
And whatever is on the other side, it's going to be better than what this is.
Or even if it's nothing, at least I won't have to deal with this.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, obviously didn't know him well enough. We just knew him from here. I would see him at, UFC events and talk to him. He's a very nice guy. But the Post asked me to, and it was nice, but I didn't write anything back to them. I didn't have anything. I didn't know him well enough to comment in like an article about from his friends.
Yeah, it's one of those things.
I roasted him, and I knew him, but not like well enough to, I think, to be a part of the story.
You don't want to exaggerate your familiarity.
No, not at all. I mean, he was a nice dude, and a very, very lovely guy. I mean, that one time he was on the plane, I thought he ignored me after our first time interviewing him.
Right.
And then we became friendly. But
yeah,
what a shame, man. He was a really, he's a guy whose career you look at and you're like, he has a fun life. I mean, he's thin now. He loves doing jiu-jitsu. He's fucking traveling the world. Best accommodations in the world.
Theoretically, he's living his passions.
He's living his passions, having a great time. And like as a person who's trying to figure out, okay, I do radio. What am I going to do next in my career? Is it going to be this or that? That's the guy who had, it seems like, the perfect career because he was doing what he really wanted to do.
But it's also a good lesson that, like, if you're fucked up or you're low and you're thinking, well, if I can just get this gig or if I can just make it this far or if I can just go over here, then that'll be better. That's what I'm missing. It's
wherever I went, there I was.
That's right, Jim. That's right.
But
you gotta, you gotta fix it in your head, regardless of what the surrounding circumstances are.
Yeah, it has
because it's just going to follow you.
It's going to follow you, and in the best of circumstances,
Yes.
it's going to seep in.
Mm-hmm.
It seeps in. It's like when I tried to barbecue recently, and then I was in my apartment, and it smelled like chemicals because the barbecue, it was right by the door, and they came right in the house. That smell in the house, I'm like, oh my God, is that fucking carbon monoxide? What is that? It was just the chemicals that are on the thing. But it's like you walk in the house hours later, and it's there. The smell is there.
Right.
It's less, but it's
Right.
there. The fire is long been put out, but you just, I can't pinpoint where this is. If I didn't know where it came from, I wouldn't have known what I was smelling. But it's just something, that's how it is. That thing is always there. It's always around you. You can't put your fucking finger on it. You can't grab it, but it's always just kind of there.
Like I would imagine for you, like the smell of semen right under your nose. Like it's always kind of...
Well, that's what shows how much you know that somebody would waste it and leave it there. That's like saying to somebody, what, do you have chocolate cake still on your plate? Oh, for the love of Eve.
So it's more of a back of the throat feeling.
I don't think it's anything you can fix either. I don't think that's something that ever goes away. You just kind of find reasons why not to do it.
Well, you can work on it. I mean, people go to therapy and work on it and come out of it. It's not a...
It's like one of those things that could be dormant, where it's like it's back there, it's still in the back of your head, and it's crazy how sometimes it's literally just like you're in the best mood, everything's going great, and it's just that little matchstick that just goes up, and it's just like, fuck this, what am I doing?
Yeah, it does. It's but it's not rational. It's not a rational thing. But it's usually like a bunch of thoughts will connect, and you're doing okay, and you're like, yeah, this, oh, there we go, and then that thought connects, and then that thought connects. But each thought that connects is going downward. It's very rare that a thought is bringing you back up. It's always spiraling. And then there's certain people in your life that can sometimes talk you out of it, and that's what your good friends, people who know you for real. And sometimes it's a verbal slap in the face. Sometimes it's being positive. Other times it's like, shut the fuck up. What? Whatever works for you. And there's people in your life who know that what works for you.
Right.
And they'll stop that whole thing of connecting thoughts going downward. But that really, it's like a zigzag, and you don't realize that each fucking thought is a little degree lower, and a little degree lower,
going deeper,
and a little degree lower, and then the next thing you know, you're in a pit, and. I can remember having that while I was on the phone with my manager. We were talking about a gig that I had to, whatever. It was just something that was a couple of years ago, and I'm spinning, and I can feel it happening. And it wasn't about sex or relationships. It was about just this one work thing.
Your fledgling career?
Not even fledgling. Just it's like saying. It's like stepping on an ant and then going, look at that fledgling ant. Yeah, of course it was fledgling. I'm like, I don't want to sign the contract. I mean, how are we going to get along? No, I'm kidding. It was, but it was just one of those things where I could feel myself spiraling, and I'm just my mind. I'm like, just jump off the balcony, just get it, just do it. And I didn't say it to him. He didn't know I was thinking that way. But I remember and I realized that you're in a fucking pit right now. You're in a spiral. You have everything going for you, and you're in this fucking circular. It's not getting any better. It's just getting worse, and it's just one little connecting thought to another connecting thought.
That's an excellent way to put it. That is absolutely the truth. Where it's literally like it's just one little thing, and then you start doubting your career, you start doubting your life decisions, you start doubting your ability to do things.
Yeah.
And it's like your career could be great. You could have people in your life that love you. You could have all these things that are better, more money than ever, and it's just keep going down and down and down and down. And, luckily there are times like something will just kind of like bring it back up. And you're like, okay, I'm all right. Everything's good. But yeah, I mean, I could see if you're an addict, I could see when you're down that low, you're just like, I need to feel good right now. I need to do whatever it takes to feel good at this exact second. And that's a dangerous place to be in if you're an addict.
It's a very bad place to be in because you're the problem. Like, if it's for me, I'm the problem. I'm the one who I'm talking to. So it's like you're in the room with somebody who is fucking bent on fucking getting you to do it. You're not in the room with somebody, like, there's certain people in everyone has a couple people like that you just talk to, and they just kind of like, yeah, I get it. Or even if you don't tell them what's going on or how bad you are, they kind of understand that,
I think you've gotten very good, and I think it's what people need to do at knowing who to kind of keep near you, you know what I mean? And knowing in what instances, what people you should be talking to.
Yeah.
Because I think that's what kind of knocks people back into reality a lot. And I think that a lot of people, should be in therapy, and even when they feel good, you know what I mean, maintaining that thing, because like we said, it just pops up again. So and that's why it's like, yeah, you're better in the moment, but are you better?
Because it's almost about, it's almost like it's not rational, because when you're in that place and it's so fucking dark, it's like you're not looking for pity, you're not looking for hugs, you're not looking for attention, because nobody knows you're thinking that way. You know you're thinking that way. And there's like a chemical dump that comes with it. Part of me thinks that there's been times where I've actually said, it's crazy. I've been in those moments where it's so bad, and I actually said to myself, these are chemicals. This is lying to you right now. You're lying to yourself with these chemicals. Like, whatever is being dumped, my fucking brain is dumping something that's just saying, I'm like, this is bullshit. This is not reality. This is a fucking lie. Like, it's not. There's a weird feeling you get from these chemicals being spilled or seeping out into your body, and sometimes recognizing that it's a lie helps a little bit.
I feel like I can feel the chemicals. I know that sounds strange, but I feel like I like in my brain, like there's a place that feels different when I'm that way.
Well, that's good. I mean, hopefully you would be able to get to a place, because I think, Jim, what you're describing would be helpful. That you can sit there and go like, okay, this is a thing that my body is doing to me, because then you realize it's not real. Like, I'm not feeling this because there are things happening. I'm feeling this because there are chemicals in my body doing it to me.
Yeah, there is a rationale in my own mind that's taking me here. So again, I didn't know Bourdain nearly well enough to speculate on why he did it, or what his life was like, or what his relationship was like.
You also have to think, about his history as an addict.
And
if that creeped up on him again, because that shit happens to people.
Well, he wasn't. I mean, look, he didn't do heroin anymore, but he still drank. So again, it's not like you're living a sober life, which again doesn't mean you're going to kill yourself if you're not living a sober life. But I don't know if that contributed to his depression or not, or if he would drink and get into these moods. I don't know enough about his personal life. But from my interactions with him, and I knew a lot of people who knew him, and everybody liked him. Poor Bonnie McFarlane was very close to him because he did her book. She really loved him. And he was an extremely interesting guy. He was a really smart guy.
It's really annoying to read the people on Twitter going like, what kind of asshole do you have to be to leave kids behind, to leave a family behind? Because it's like you're acting like he made this rational choice to be like, well, I'm going to do this. Like, that's part of the sickness.
It is part of it, but there is fair criticism in that. Because there's been times where I've thought of doing terrible, terrible things, and I really do think of my family. I've thought of my family many times, like, I can't. I'm not saying you're a piece of shit for doing, but like Kate Spade, and like you I know that in those moments we feel like they're better off without me. I'm garbage. But then there's also that thing is I'm leaving human wreckage behind me. Like, I'm fucking devastating people who love me. I'm devastating people who have cared. You know what I mean? You do think of that shit.
And while that's shitty, don't you think that the illness, or whatever you want to call it, that's clouding your brain comes before shittiness? Like, you're more sick than you are shitty, in the sense that
maybe
that you're not sitting there saying like, you know what, I'm of my sound mind and body, I know what I'm doing, and I just don't care about those people, versus I've convinced myself because of this thing in my brain that everything would be better for everybody if I wasn't here.
Yeah, I think so. Sure, but it's both of those things. But it's still, like, it's not. I can't just look at someone and go, "You selfish piece of shit."
Right.
But I can't write that off either, because I've been in that place. Like, it's like, and I'm not being dramatic, but I've had those thoughts, and I've had a lot of those thoughts, and it's like you go through ritualistic behavior, and I also know what has backed me off. Part of it's being afraid. Part of it's like, no, I don't want to. And then there's been times where it's like, I just can't. I can't do this after an argument with this person.
Right.
Because I know that it's going to ruin their life. And I also didn't want to do it bad enough to do it. Like,
Yeah. Well, I mean, I also think you might be a little healthier than you think you are.
Maybe.
You're not as healthy as the most healthy person, but you're not as bad off as some other people are.
Sure. But I also think that there is a selfishness that comes with it.
Inherently.
When you do it and you have kids. I don't have kids and I can't comment, but I just know when people who have kids talk about your kids.
I think that there's a selfishness and a narcissism that goes behind all of it. Depression, whatever mental disorder you have going through your brain, there's a selfishness to it. Sure. Because you now have locked yourself into this bubble where this reality exists to you that doesn't, like, nobody else, everybody else is going, it's not true. Like, it's not reality to the people who are outside of your brain. So there's a natural selfishness to it, but it's not selfishness in the sense that it's a person being selfish, knowingly sort of thinking, I'm going to just think about me now. They don't even know, I think, most of the time.
Yeah. I think you feel like a prisoner in your own head.
Right.
It's the hardest thing to try to explain to somebody, but you just you feel like you're in a mental hell. And the only way that you can get relief from that hell is getting out of life.
Well, the reason it's hard to explain is because, so when you explain it to people, they think you're looking for sympathy. And there are people who are looking for sympathy, and there are people who are insincere and just looking for a hug and looking for you to go, hey, be careful.
Right.
But then there's the other side of it where you're really not looking for that, and you don't want that from people. And you know that when you describe it, you sound like you're a fucking, like you're a fucking teenage, a teenager looking for attention from the girl who rejected,
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard. Lots of times people don't want to describe it because it's embarrassing.
Why don't you go to therapy, Troy, or do you?
It's a long story. I went to therapy when I was young, and it didn't really do too much for me. Like the therapist that I would go to, it just seemed like I was just one in an assembly line of people going through there. I didn't think they really cared about my
shitty
who I
therapist.
was, and they just you see them kind of keep looking at the clock, So it just seems like they're not invested in what I'm doing or what I'm saying. And then after my girlfriend died, I really should have probably gone to some sort of therapy. And it's taken. I mean, I'm still a mess mentally. I'm having a hard time trying to even have normal relationships.
It's really and it's important. It's on the same. I talked to a person who just went through rehab for alcohol, and he went into treatment. And I asked him about a friend that had died 17 years ago, because I was like, you're doing when did you grieve this? And he was surprised that I had asked, because he said, honestly, I just got out of recovery, and I didn't even realize that I hadn't, and it was just with me the entire time because I never went through the process properly. I just kind of numbed it, and he had to go through it 17 years later. You know what I mean? He had to still go through all that. You just can't escape it.
It's in there somewhere.
Right.
It's like people who get molested a lot of times become molesters, or girls who get beaten up by their fathers, or marry abusive guys. It's like all this shit that's in there, and it just, again, you slam the lid on it, but you're not emptying it out. It's there. So eventually, and I keep using that dumb example, but it's like it leaks out into your life.
Yeah.
It leaks out, and there's no way to think it away. Because even when you're not thinking about it, it's still there. You just slammed the lid shut on something, but you haven't gotten rid of it.
Yeah.
And it seems like such a pain in the ass to find a decent therapist.
I agree with that.
But you don't need to, I know what you mean. I told you years ago I had a therapist fall asleep on me. And God bless him, I was boring. But I think sometimes, the therapist now I have I really like, he's a really smart guy. And he actually gave me his cell phone number. He's like, look, if you ever get it. But I wouldn't never use it unless it was an emergency. I don't care what he thinks. I don't give a fuck.
That's not what it's about.
It's not what it's about. I'm not paying him to care about me. I pay him because he's a brilliant guy, and he asks me smart questions. He's not going to fix me. He's not going to go, Jim, this is not fucking ordinary people where I'm going to cry and meet him and go, I got the breakthrough. But this is when I have actually had crazy thoughts, and then his dumb face flashes into my head. And I'm like, ugh, I probably things he has asked me or things he said. He makes smart
Meaning
points.
you try to, in your head, you start explaining it to him, and you know his response is X.
Yeah, or I just know that he'll ask a really good question, or that's what a good therapist does. They're not there to fix you. They'll ask you, why do you think you well, yeah, but are you really doing this? And look, hey, it's just my opinion, but he'll just pepper in these little things that really do stick.
Yeah.
And you think of them when you're fucked up. These little crazy, I know this is bullshit. I know it's bullshit. Because he made perfect sense when he said that. That's what a good therapist does. Half the times he probably wants to hear what I have to say. Half the times he's probably like, oh, shut up.
Yeah.
But a lot of times it's just a place to vent with somebody. And I like sometimes that they don't care.
Mm-hmm.
I like sometimes that they don't give a fuck about me. Because that's not, a person who cares about you will tell you what you want to hear. A person who cares about you, oh, come on, be positive. Hey, they're too invested in you feeling better. So they don't always, a lot of times they'll coddle you.
Yeah.
Good therapists usually won't coddle you. They'll just give you information, and sometimes that's what you need. Sometimes I don't want the coddling of a friend. Jim, if I call Bob Kelly, or even Voss. Like, you know, these are my friends, man. These are guys who I could call you. I could call people who love me or whatever, and you would say the right thing because you care about. But sometimes the therapist doesn't give a shit about your.
You don't always need words of encouragement.
You don't always need that. Sometimes you don't need to be killed either, but sometimes you just need somebody to kind of to give you a rational, honest reaction, a rational, honest,
and somebody who
opinion.
studied it. So, like, you trust this person, not like some guy who's just like, you know what I think.
Yeah, he's just listening to what you're saying. He doesn't know you historically. He just knows what you're saying to him, and he's just listening to a person talking to him and giving you an opinion. And a lot of times, that's what you're paying for. At least that's what I'm paying for.
Makes sense.
Yeah,
I get it. Let me go to Bill in Los Angeles. What's up, Bill?
What's going on, guys?
Hi, Bill.
Hey, yeah, you guys have been saying exactly what I went through, man, through most life. You just keep going deeper and deeper down that damn rabbit hole till at one point you're got 9mm in your hand and you're thinking you're just better off. The world's better off without you.
Did you do that, Bill?
Yeah, I did at one point, and then I just put it down. I don't know, something snapped in my head, and I just realized I got to keep marching on, man. I can't give in.
Did you, so did that change after that incident, did it change your mentality in general?
Yeah, it did. I think something snapped in my head, and I realized a lot of the problems or a lot of the depression I'm feeling, it's self-created. You know, I'm in control of who I am. I got to do what I got to do to keep going, and I can't let, you know, depression and other people and bullshit get in my way and be in control of me. I gotta create my path. I gotta define my route, and I gotta go by it, man.
That's right, man. Thanks.
And a lot of times you feel like when you're in that space in a really terrible place, you feel like it's the end goal. It's almost like, you know, again, I can't think of a good example. If you jump off a diving board, you understand that you're going to hit the water. That's exactly what's going to happen here. This is what this entire motion is leading up to me landing in the water. That's how it feels sometimes. Like I'm zigzagging downward in a spiral, and now I'm just going circular in a spiral. This is the end goal. This is what it is. It's to do this. So it almost seems like it's a part of whatever the fuck you're doing in that moment. It's like, yeah, I have to finish with this, and that's how it becomes this. That's why this guy sits there with a 9mm in his mouth because it's like, oh, that's where this goes.
This is where this was all leading from the beginning.
This is part of where I'm supposed to be.
Right.
I'm supposed to wind up here.
Right. Steve in Alabama.
Yes.
What's up, Steve?
Good morning, guys. Thank you for taking my call, and good stuff today. I think a lot of times the mystique behind celebrities doing this is people don't realize that, you know, happiness really is an inside job, that it doesn't come from without. Just because somebody is successful and has fame and fortune doesn't always reflect happiness, because I mean those can make you happy, but really, you know, there's other things people crave. And when I was a teenager, I went through some hard times, and I had a hard upbringing with parents that really didn't have no business raising kids at the time, and you know, I kind of looked at it as being my fault and a why me mentality. But, you know, I had the gun in my hand and was, you know, ready to put an end to it all. But the thing about it is I had to just think about the future, man. I was like, well, there's got to be a better future for me, and that's what I've got to strive to make happen. And, you know, I had to find what makes Steve happy. And, you know, celebrities are not impervious to problems. They're real people with real problems too.
Yeah, not at all.
Amen.
Not at all. I mean, just because you're in a job you like doesn't mean that your life doesn't stink on the inside.
I also think the way that culture has changed with everything hitting us so fast and our senses just being in overload all the time, whether it's, you know, I mean, social media is the whatever, but like just that culture of like always doing something, and you're also like the best parts of everybody's lives are thrown in your face all the time, because it's just boom, over here, I got to be doing this, I got to be doing that, I got to be doing. I think it all adds to it.
Yeah,
in a big way.
Absolutely agree.
You
I
know?
also see why people get extremely into religion. It makes more sense to me now than it ever has, because you just grip onto this thing that's, and you want power from this thing, you want relief from this thing. You know, when you pray to this thing. You seem to have some sort of comfort when you do that.
Well, it's like that's now your center, and it's independent of you.
Yes.
So no matter how fucked up you are, it's like, okay, I just put it all on this. I'm not in control anymore. I don't have to worry about me.
Trust this.
I'll just trust this, and I won't even think about the nonsense in my head.
Yeah, and it just makes more sense to me now that it ever has.
Yeah. I mean, it's easier for a lot of people.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Let's go to Rich in Baltimore. He might be
man.
right.
Let's go to Rich.
Hey, Rich.
guys.
Hey, man.
buddy.
Hey, how are you guys doing?
Good,
hey,
good.
Thanks for taking my call. So I just wanted to call because I'm 25 years old. I've been dealing with depression and anxiety my entire life, and quite honestly, I've had a therapist for 8 years now, and over time I started to realize it's all perception and kind of like self-created in my life. Like I was overweight, I was fat, but then I lost that weight, and then after that it's like, all right, I'm starting to get happier, and I start to realize that like this anxiety in my head is like something that I think of, and like I realize that I do have like addiction issues, like therefore like it does create some type of depression at times, but at the end of the day I know that like my decisions will like ultimately determine my outcome in life, and it's just kind of like making sure you pick yourself up and like keep going forward, because if you don't, you're just going to go down that dark hole like the last caller was saying, and like it's a scary thing.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, you do. I mean,
do you think it's possible to alter your own brain chemistry?
I don't know. I don't know how the chemistry stuff works.
I don't think anybody really knows, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
I don't think science has figured out the brain entirely.
You might be able to through behaviors, though, because a lot of times when you're doing better
Yeah.
things, you know what? Yeah, on some level it is. Like that's why they say, like, petting dogs makes you comfortable.
Right.
Like there is something to be said for doing activities that are good.
And I also think,
maybe you can through doing good activities helps.
going back to Troy's roller coaster thing, I think like people a lot of times don't realize, because you chase those highs, especially depending on your personality type. You're like, let's do something better and bigger, and you just chase highs and highs and highs, not really getting that they all, like if you're going for a mental high, it's always coupled with a low. And a lot of times people are not prepared for the fact that every high in life has an equivalent low. And I think that hits people,
It does, yeah. Although sometimes you can go high and then go low and not go near. A lot of people who peak and go high, but they don't go as low as they were high either. Or there's a lot of people who go so fucking far down the pit and they never spike up the other way.
Right.
It's sometimes it's not exactly.
That's the spiral, right?
Yeah, sometimes it's not 50-50.
Yeah.
Where you go down as high as you go up, or high as you go up. Sometimes it's it's 10 up and 40 down, and some people are fucking 30 up and 2 down. Like they're
Man,
just those people.
I get so jealous. We were talking about it a little bit on Friday, I think. I get so jealous of the people who just can be ignorant and confident, just stupid and just happy. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like they're just so sure that they're awesome and are too stupid to know otherwise. Like I'm like, look at you. You're just living your best life.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
They are hateable, though.
Completely hateable. But they don't know.
They don't know.
And if you go like, dude, you're so fucking hateable.
What?
What's your problem?
They wouldn't believe it.
No. Like, this guy's an asshole.
Yeah, they
You know
would
what I
think you're a
mean?
dick and you're a hater.
Right. Oh, another hater. I see.
Sam, do you deal with any sort of depression?
Dude, every time anything good happens, Jess is on full alert.
You go that low? You go real low?
Full alert.
You have a great way of hiding it.
Yeah, well, I guess so.
Because I can't recall a time you've ever come in and I've been like, oh, I'm super depressed. I'm not feeling well.
Well, yeah, I never bring it here.
Well, it's amazing you can.
Yeah.
Do
but
that.
I mean, like, literally, I've had phone conversations coming home from WWE gigs that have gone completely well. And it's a WWE gig. And I'm driving home, and I got to wake up Jess at midnight and just, like, talk to her for a while on the way home. Be like, yeah, no, this sucks. Like, blah, 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 blah. And she's got to kind of. That's just how you feel. Like, you get it, you do it. And you're like, you just start going through those spirals of, like, that was unremarkable. This is the thing that I've been building towards, and it doesn't mean anything. I'm not even good at this. You know what I mean? This isn't going to last anyway, and who cares if it does or doesn't? What difference does it possibly make? I feel like this now. What difference would it make if it went further? You know what I mean?
It's almost not knowing how to handle the excitement of the high. It's almost like you do something like that, and then it's such a high. Now what? It's not being able just to enjoy it or to handle it, but now there's another high, and the next high becomes finding what's wrong with it, feeling low, pulling myself into this place because I don't know how to stay in this good place and enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sometimes it's a part of it.
Oh, and clearly, by the way, everybody hates me. You know what I mean? Like all of that all factors in.
Isn't that as most creative people though are like that?
I feel like it must be. It's some kind of because I think you're just you keep pushing to want to create, and when you're not, or you know, it's like
Creating
what am I
purpose.
doing? What am I doing? Like, what am I doing with my brain? What am I doing with my life? Like, who cares about any of this?
Does it give you purpose? Right? It gives
Creating,
yes. Like when you do
100%.
when you have an idea and you bring it to life, and there it is.
And by the way, every time I'll bring you get that high when you come up with this idea, and then you bring it to life. But then once it's in action, it's all gone. Nothing.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Like, now what?
Yeah. What's the next thing?
The idea is you live in the destination, or you live in traveling to the destination and don't enjoy it when you get there. That's what it is
Right.
too. It's like you live
Right.
in someday I'll do this. Okay, I'll do this. It's fighting for this. It's wanting to be this. It's a fantasy world.
Right.
And then when you arrive, I've said to myself, if you would have told 18-year-old Jim Norton some of the things 49-year-old Jim Norton, thank you, would be depressed about, I would have literally spit in my face. I would have pissed in a bag and broken it on Jim Norton's face.
Yeah.
If you would have told me at age 48 or 49, you'll be thinking these thoughts when you're going to do this, I would have been like, are you out of your... I'll never be that stupid.
Yeah.
So it's not the things.
No, I try to keep myself in 13-year-old Sam Roberts' world, because that's...
I'm sure your mom's happy about that.
Yeah, she tried to keep me there for a very long time. That's the kid, though, that would think that what I was doing was awesome, which is me.
Yeah.
Right? But, like, for some reason in that moment, you're like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, who cares?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is nothing. It's crazy.
It is crazy.
Yeah.
It is crazy when you're there's something about being creative, and I don't mean that creative people are any different. It's just there's something about it that when you get to a certain point, some people can enjoy it, and other people are like, no, it's nothing.
Right.
Because the high is not necessarily getting there; it's fantasizing about what it's going to be like when you get there.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I enjoy, and that's probably what you enjoy. It's fantasizing about what it will be like to be there, and then you arrive, and you're like, this is real. It doesn't feel the same as the fantasy.
It's your same life.
It's the same life.
You're just you still.
Or looking back on it, it's fun. Looking back
Oh,
on
of
things.
course. That was
my
great.
God, when I did that was amazing.
Right.
Doing it? No.
Right.
It's not living in the moment. It's not enjoying the moment. It's always looking for yesterday or tomorrow. It's a crazy way to be.
I'm better now. Well, no, yeah, I'm better now than I have been about figuring out, like, enjoy this right now. Enjoy this.
So what do you say
now.
to her when you're on the phone?
She's just like, hey, how you doing? I'm like, oh, I'm fine. But I'm just like driving. She's like, you're fine? I'm like, yeah, whatever. Like, it was fine. It's just, I mean, I don't even know if I want to do this. And she's like, well, what are you talking about? You know? And you just start going through. It's not like oh, this sucks. It's just this blah. Like, totally unremarkable. Who cares about any of this? Yeah, it was fine, but I just feel nothing.
Because it's like no one 12 hours after they do cocaine is like, wow, this come down is great.
Exactly.
I'm enjoying this. What a fun feeling this is. And that's how it is when we spike with these fucking things. We look when the event becomes everything, like, oh, then I'll be doing that. And the high, and we look forward to it so much, never enjoying the moments leading up to it.
Right.
Then all of a sudden you get there and you're like, all right, it's just another moment.
Right.
So then there's that fucking plunge off the cliff the other side. And that doesn't mean you're going to kill yourself, but it just means like, oh, what the fuck am I doing?
No, I remember the first time I figured it out was when I did the game show, when I was a kid, when I was 13. And I didn't even know any of this was in me. I didn't know what any of it was. And we went to Orlando and we did figure it out on Nickelodeon. And like, I mean, you talk about a high when you're that young and like you get to the airport and there's a guy holding a sign for the car, but it says Sam Roberts on it. It doesn't say, and you're like, come on, like this is your trip, and you're about to go be on TV, and you're gonna meet all the Nickelodeon celebrities, and you do this, and you go and do the game show, and you see everything, you see the lights in the TV studio, and everybody's looking at you, and you do the thing, and you do your trick, and everybody's amazed, and then as soon as the taping's over, you get in a van, and you go back to the hotel, and then like, and it's it. That
the high is over.
It's done.
Yeah.
And like, I woke up the next day. And we went to Universal Studios, and we're in a theme park. And my brother's having a good time, my sister's having a good time, my parents are having a good time. And I'm just sitting there, just numb to everything.
Yeah.
And I'm going like, and at that point, I was like, I don't understand what's going on.
Well, because again, when you do coke, if you do 10 lines, and then the next day you're like, oh, I'll just do one. that one is not going to take you to the same place. So it
Mm-mm.
doesn't seem like a great line of coke. It's like it's a disappointment.
Right.
That's that when you measure everything against these fucking mythical goals or these things that you don't even enjoy when you get there.
Right.
Nothing feels good anymore. It's crazy. It is a crazy way to, and people do it no matter what your job is. You know, it could just be you're looking forward to going on a date, and then you finally go on the date, and it's not what you thought it was going to be. It's fucking, or she doesn't fuck you, or when you get the girl. How many times I've loved somebody and gotten them to date me, and then all of a sudden the high of it's over, and I sabotage it.
Right.
I've done that with women. There's been girls who I was friends with for a couple of years, and I got her to date, and I wrecked it. Because it's, again, when I focused on the goal, and then I got the goal, I'm like, oh, okay, this wasn't what I wanted. I should have just been friends.
And it's so funny because I'll put everything into perspective mentally. Everything, I'll put it all in the right place. I'll look at everything for what it is in the most positive possible way. Like, dude, this is your dream. Like, you're doing it. And, like, everything will be good. And then there's something, I mean, that's why there's a chemical component. And then something in your body is just like, nope, I'm going to take it. And you're like, like, you're not even tricking yourself anymore. You're like, nope, everything you're doing, everything you will ever set out to do. And you did it. And your body's like, yeah, well, big deal.
Yeah.
You know? And you're like, fuck, you got me again.
It never, there's always that thing where I'm getting all these chemicals fired because I'm doing something good, and that's the rush. But then when that's over, well, the addiction is not the thing I'm doing. It's the idea of having chemicals fired. So now they got to fire somewhere else. And
Right.
It's usually from a bad place.
Right.
Because now you're on the way down after the event. Instead of enjoying the event and feeling like, wow, I did that. It was great. Like that night, it's like when I've shot things, right? And then after you shoot them, you go over them, and it doesn't feel good to have done this or that. It's like, all right, now I got to pick apart what was wrong with it. Now I got to edit it. Now I got, you can't just enjoy it. I'll enjoy the moment that night, maybe go out and have, fucking dessert or whatever. And then the next day, it's like, ugh, who cares?
Right.
I remember after
and I'll have moments where I'm not in that. Like, this isn't just a constant state. Like, I'll have moments, like I said, where I can put everything into perspective and I can enjoy it for what it is. And that's when I'm like, yes, I did it right. But then you never know when it's going to be the one that's like, nope, gotcha.
2012, after I shot Please Be Offended, I remember I was fatter then. Not as fat as I had gotten at one point, but I was in my hotel room in Cleveland. And I was not thrilled with the first show at all. And the second show was better. And I was so depressed. And so I'm like, I just got to fucking kill myself. I have to. I shot it. It was shit. You're fucking worthless. But I remember being in that hotel in Cleveland in 2012.
And it wasn't shit.
It was okay.
You know what I mean?
But it didn't, just the idea that I shot it, the come down was so hard off of that. It was, I didn't feel like that after any of the other ones. After I felt great. After Monster, I felt great. It's just that one particular one, for whatever reason. That night was bad.
It got you.
It got me. And I hadn't slept at all the night before.
Right.
I remember I was signing those posters. Danny had posters that I was signing, which were really good, these posters for the event. And so I signed them in the morning, and I remember being on like 2 hours sleep. And I had to shoot 2 shows for a special. I had that loopy, like, am I too tired to perform tonight? Am I too? And I knew it was going to be a bad day. I was just too tired to do it. So I remember signing that morning, this is going to be a bad one. And then by the time it was over, however many hours later, I was like fucking shot. And I'm like, you just got to, so you do the old test, and you're like, how could I do this? And could I, and then you just go to bed and jerk off.
Thank God for that, right?
But yeah, thank God there's always loads to be spilled.
Yeah, or like, little things like I'll do like an interview or something, right? Where I'll be like, that was a great interview. I'm so glad. And I really connected with the person I did it with. I think we built a relationship. And I'll be like riding this thing of like, okay, that was great. And then I'll think of one question I'll think of one follow-up question that I didn't ask.
Yeah.
Ruined.
Ruined. Because in the fantasy, the experience is perfect.
Right.
And can be adjusted and changed in the moment. Like when you're fantasizing about the relationship or about meeting this person or doing this job, whatever the fuck it is, you can change it. You can change the fantasy in the moment. Like I'll be out with her and she'll look at me and I'll wait, no, in the car we'll look at each other. And it's just like that. Your reality has changed, the fantasy has changed, it's adjusted, but in real life you can't do that. So in real life you try to have that moment and you can't switch it. So then you go over it later and go, fuck, that wasn't perfect. It wasn't what I...
Yeah.
But you forget that when you're just visualizing this shit, they're not perfect either. You're giving yourself 10 fucking versions of it.
Right. Right.
None of them are perfect.
Of course. Chef in Connecticut, what's up?
Hey, Jim, Sam, what's up, guys?
Hey,
How are
buddy.
you?
Good.
Dude, you guys are right on point, man. I've been fortunate enough to do Food Network and different television shows several times, and it's amazing how when you get done with it, and you guys both know, and it's like you come back to reality. It's like a different world. Like it's almost trying to get the tools to comprehend and cope with that. That just makes it, I don't know, it makes the depression kind of sit in, and being able to fight that stuff off, I guess, is the tool you need to have. And, you know, I totally understand, Jim, when you're talking about shooting special and you come back and you feel like it wasn't good, or you feel there's really no reason for it. It feels different.
It's the it's the other side of, as Troy said, the roller coaster. That's all. Half the times there's real reasons for it, and you're legitimately sad, and half the times you just don't know how to handle the rush, or it's the letdown after the event, and it just feels like you're falling off a cliff. A lot of times there's no real rational, and even knowing this stuff does not mean anything. A friend of mine, a guy I knew for a long time, committed suicide a few months ago, and his whole thing was he spoke about depression, and he was really good at speaking about depression.
Mm-hmm.
He knew everything about depression. And he said something really smart. He was saying mental illness is a physical illness, and he had a great way of putting that, and maybe he's not the first to say that, but he's the first guy I heard say it, and he was really a brilliant guy, and a great, great contributor. It didn't matter. It got him.
Yeah.
Knowing all this shit doesn't mean a
Which
fucking
is
thing.
exactly, it goes right back to his theory, by the way. I mean, like, you know,
Doesn't matter.
being mad at somebody, a depressive person for being depressed is like being mad at somebody with a cold for sneezing. It's like, it's out of your control.
Yeah, but the problem is that when a person sneezes, they do have the choice of covering their mouth or aiming it at you. So
That's true.
There is things with depression where you're right, they can't control certain parts, but the part that people can control, a lot of times irritates
And
me.
by the way, you can take some Robitussin when you have a cold.
You can try.
You can. There are things you can do to get yourself better.
Instead of looking at someone going, I have to sneeze, and then sneezing on them, and going, oh my God, feel bad for me, I sneezed on you.
Right, exactly.
I think one of the best tools that I can use is for sure seeing Jimmy this Saturday at Stretch Factory in Bridgeport. I can't wait, Jimmy. Looking forward to it.
You know, by the way, I got to thanks very much. Tampa, that club is so fucking good. That Tampa Side Splitters, incredible crowds. And Vinny's new club, the Stress Factory, Dice said it was great. Brewer said it was great. I'm doing this Friday, Saturday only. It's in Bridgeport, and I can't wait to get up there and do that. Thank you for mentioning it. I forgot to plug it. So this Friday, Saturday, go to stressfactory.com.
Let's go to Brandon in Minnesota. What's up, Brandon?
Oh, hi, Sam.
Oh, hi, Brandon.
Hi, Jim. How
You
are
guys sound like the movie.
Yeah.
Leave your stupid comments in your pocket.
When I was fighting back in the day, what you guys are talking about is exactly what you kind of go through. Like you spend, 8 weeks going through a camp and you're studying and analyzing like, oh, I'm going to fuck this guy up. And then you do it. And then about 20 minutes later, you're sitting there, you take a shower, you go back to the hotel, whatever you do. And then you're like, now what? Now what the hell do I do? Like that was fine for the couple minutes that it lasted, and now what the hell do I do?
Right.
And it's a really weird depression too, because everybody's all happy, and like you go out afterwards and whatever, and it might be fine, but the real loneliness is like the next morning when you're waking up and you're like, and you're hurting, and you have injuries if you have them, and you're just like, why the hell did I do that? Like now what do I do? It's a real fucked up thing.
I bet.
It's like I say in my new book, the highs and lows, asterisk.
It's good. It's good stuff, man. It's good. I'm glad we.
Thank you.
I'm glad we were brainstorming.
Yeah.
this stuff today. This is
That's the name of my new book, The Highs and Lows.
asterisk. Nick in Detroit. What's up, Nick?
What's up, Sammy Band Muffin? Jimmy, how you doing?
What's up, buddy?
I want to say, like, with addiction and stuff like that, like, you talked about the cocaine use. Usually what it is, when you do something extremely, like, triumphant, you have a large dose of dopamine that filters to the brain. And then when you're coming down, it's the lack of dopamine. And,
Oh, Jesus
with
Christ.
addiction
Nick, I really, we're talking about something so serious and important, and I hate to interrupt you, but, I want to tell you because it's disrespectful to you that while you were talking about, depression and the physical symptoms and
Sam
dopamine.
farted. Sam, you fucking...
No, it wasn't me.
Sam did fart.
It clearly wasn't me.
He did.
You piece of shit. Jim, you freaking piece of shit. It's a very serious subject.
But no, you talked about dopamine. And with dopamine, my body needed a dopamine release. Like, I'm feeling a little sad. No, I'm better.
Hey, Sam, do you get a release of dopamine whenever Jim farts?
He does. And a release of cum.
Jim is helping me.
But yeah, you're right, dude. You're saying it's the lack of dopamine, which is the kind of the depression.
Sometimes Jim says, thank you, Nick. Sometimes Jim says, how about a little cognitive therapy? And then he toots.
That's right. And the thing Sam will do is I pinch Sam's nose and he opens his mouth. Takes the fart in.
It's disgusting. No, I know.
Sam's a fart eater.
No, you're a fart eater.
I had a girl want to fart in my mouth one time. She was talking. We were texting dirty, but it was the idea that it was so sexy. It was so perverted.
Naked fart?
She just said that. Yeah, I'm going to fart in your mouth and you're going to eat it. And it was so.
What is she, 7?
Is she hot?
Yeah, and it was so dirty.
You'd like that, Troy?
But you understand how like it was just such a weird thing to have somebody say.
I mean, if a girl's really hot, you'd just about do anything.
Yeah, but it was the terminology or whatever it was.
Yeah.
I don't know.
By the way, on top of all this, France is keeping Bourdain's body for the next several days.
Why?
Because everything's slow over there.
For chemicals or whatever?
Yeah, to do
Tests?
whatever it is that they have to do, I guess. Yeah, but the family doesn't get the body for still several more days.
You wonder why. I saw a picture of the hotel. It was gorgeous. You know, I guess when your life is, again, it's never perfect, but when your life is as good as his life was, you're doing exactly what you want to do, the best foods, the best hotel. It does matter. The best travel accommodations are helpful. You're living a life where you're traveling first class everywhere.
It's nice.
It's fucking nice.
It's nice.
You're eating in fine restaurants everywhere in the world. It's nice. I guess maybe there's nothing left to achieve, and then you feel like this is the end. Even if the end was great, it doesn't matter. There's nothing left.
Yeah.
What do you think, Travis? Are you prone to depression?
No, I'm very, very well-centered.
You really are.
Travis is even-keeled, and one day in his late 60s, he's going to come and burn an entire city to the
Or
ground.
he's going to self-immolate.
What does that mean?
Light yourself on fire?
Yeah, there is going to be... Travis is as centered as anybody I've ever known, but there will clearly, at some point, everything with mother, every work stress he's ever had, everything that we don't know about. His sexuality that he's been wrestling with.
What?
Yeah. All of his demons.
Wrestling, getting pinned.
That's right. All of his demons in his late 60s are going to spill out of him in a flaming mess.
Yeah.
And when I say flaming, I mean literally he's going to start lighting fires.
But you do seem pretty adjusted. Like, you seem pretty even-keeled, and like you enjoy living life in the moment.
Yeah. I don't get depressed. I mean, I get frustrated by certain things or stressed out by things, but I've never been depressed. I can't relate to anything the three of you were talking about.
Yeah, because you see Travis, just the way he lives life. Like, him and Lisa will go away with their daughter, and they enjoy Disney every time. Or there'll be a concert, it's like a Wednesday, and he's like, oh no, I went. And he loved the moment, he enjoyed the moment. Like, you're a guy that just seems to be present and enjoy the moment. You're probably the healthiest of all of us.
He's also good at figuring his shit out because, he goes, he's a problem solver. Where is my opportunity here at Burger King? Oh, I'll just rob them.
What are you talking about?
That
was a story for the radio.
I mean, Charlie.
Charlie said, hey, you should take some of this money.
Yeah. I said, Charlie, I don't know.
But I don't know. I mean, I don't know how great Anthony Bourdain had it. Like, if you watch his show, it's not a lot of, fine dining and shit like that. It's a lot of, grueling, off the beaten path.
Eating slugs and whatnot?
Eating slugs. I've read that his schedule was just so grueling and so isolated and just lonely.
Crazy, yeah, absolutely. The circumstances around it, but he could have fixed that. When you're Anthony Bourdain...
I don't think he wanted to fix it.
That's what I'm saying,
yeah.
He
liked that grueling schedule and then going back to your hotel room alone.
And just kind of
Apparently he didn't like it that much.
No.
Yeah, today that was the first time he didn't like it a little more than he shouldn't have liked it. Yeah. But even when you're eating slugs and doing that, when you're on a shoot like that, yeah, it can be frustrating or whatever, but he's the star of the show.
He's the greatest.
What you don't see is everybody off camera getting him anything he wants.
Oh, yeah,
and he's going back to a world-renowned 5-star hotel. You're eating the finest food. You're being treated very, very well.
And he's one of these stars, too, that such reverence for. I'm sure that there's not a ton of people out there shitting on Anthony Bourdain.
No, because he was a unique guy, and he was a smart guy, and he had he said smart shit, and like he always had real opinions, whether you liked them or not.
And from my
a real
experience,
guy.
very down to earth.
Yes, very.
One of the only, probably the most famous person to come through here, always by himself.
Yeah.
Never with a publicist, never with a friend. Just checked in, waited in the lobby. Roland went to go get him. Just by himself. But there's something to be said for that. You know, that you don't have a bunch
absolutely.
of yes men and a bunch of handlers bringing you up to Sirius. You leave your apartment.
I always like that.
Yeah, me too.
And he was in a quote unquote snotty world. Like those guys in the chef culinary world are very arrogant and he was just not like that at all.
No, not at all.
He's punk rock chef.
Yeah. I mean, he was a very down to earth guy. At least when you talk to him and the things he talked about.
Yeah.
And even though you're going, a lot of your meals are not amazing. You're doing it as a part of your job. Like that was your job. And when your job is to get flown,
And it's what you want to do.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
You want to elevate these countries and these things that people might not know about. You know, nobody needs to go to, showcase another 5-star restaurant in France. It's been done.
Right.
You know, you go to the lesser places.
I might go do I might do that.
What would you call it?
I don't know. I always thought it would be really funny if I wanted to do a show with Colin Quinn where we actually went to restaurants and then had really boring conversations about the food. Like just Dullsville. That pate looks good. You know, it's better than expected. Just not funny.
Colin would be the perfect guy to do that show with.
Perfect guy to do that show with.
Colin has mastered the art of mundane conversation.
Oh, my God. I would love to have done a food show that was just awful.
Why don't you do it for YouTube?
It would be fun, but I don't know. They would just go, "This show sucks." Like I don't know if it would be enjoyable
because they would
enough
know
for
you.
people.
They'd know Colin. I mean, Chip sucks.
Yeah,
Chip works.
Yeah, I guess so. Maybe you're right. Let's take a break. I want to eat something. And the new Chip is up, by the way, since Sam was trying to plug Chip.
Please.
And go to the Jim Norton YouTube page. There's a few Chip animations. There's another one going up. The podcast is what's being animated.
Oh, that prison one was great.
Oh, did you like that one?
Yeah.
Chippy, fucking scared straight.
Yep, that was really good.
Yeah, I was very happy with that one. And there's a new one going up probably this week. We have a couple on ice. A couple of adjustments had to be made to them.
Sounds cool.
Yeah, but I love that.
You get it, Travis?
Yeah, no, I got it.
Ice.
Yep.
This guy Daniel does a really great job with them. And
I'll
also,
do all the innovations for you, Jim.
And Coke Logic did that fucking, because I'm in jail. Did he seem like a tough guy to you?
Very tough. Yeah, I was super scared. His tattoos were very intimidating.
Yeah, they really were.
Snoopy.
Yeah, so I got to work on my YouTube page. I don't use it at all for anything. It's just got some a few dumb videos like the Chip cart. But there's like 7 of them that are up now. We're starting to build them. And it's just, I want to get somebody else involved too. I want to get me say this before we go to break, because Coke Logic does them and Daniel does them, and those guys do a great job. And they just choose the ones they want to do. I might weigh in and go, hey, let's see, fix this line. But 98% of it is just their choice on what they want to animate. But it's those guys doing it by themselves, so it takes a little while. I love.
You were with your best company.
Yep. And then I went back. I did some, read the stories for today,
Right.
And listened to the audio and all that stuff.
Yep.
Talked to a friend of mine. That was it. It was an uneventful evening. I've been standing outside a lot more on the terrace, just enjoying it.
Yeah?
Yeah, my plants look good.
Contemplating?
No, just enjoying my plants. I'm an old queen. I'm just enjoying my fucking plants.
I have to tell you something, Jim. Last night, I went in the backyard to let the dog out, and I just kind of stood in the backyard and took a breath, and I was like, this is nice.
I
enjoyed myself.
You guys are so well-rounded.
Yes.
What were you talking about last break?
I don't remember. Just
fine.
I mean, because we had the gardeners over. They put some new stuff down in the plants and everything. Made everything look nice in the backyard. Yeah, and I was nice summer night.
I might have some people over. You guys, we're taking a couple extra days in a couple of weeks. Nothing major.
No,
but maybe on one of those days I'll have people over.
I love that idea.
Yeah,
camping chairs.
I might have to, but I got a nice rug. Ugh. I'm worried about my rug now. I didn't have a rug when you guys were here the first time.
That's right. You're worried we're going to walk on your rug?
Yeah.
With children?
Well, we have to.
It's a good rug. I spill shit on it.
What are you worried about?
It's just my rug.
So you spill shit on it?
I haven't yet.
Oh.
You know what would be cool?
What about seed?
No, that's chest.
Just put a tarp over the rug.
Oh my God! If you
cool.
put plastic over your rug,
how funny would that be if I put blue infield tarp?
Oh,
I
man.
should do that just to annoy everyone.
Crunch, crunch, crunch.
You think that'd be annoying?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's
just my
No, I know. I remember from before.
Put plastic on your couch like old people do.
Yeah. Now we do have a new intern. Do you think you're gonna hire the new intern the way you hired the old intern?
Yeah, she was helpful last time.
That's
She was
right.
helpful as long as people know. How old are you? How old is the intern?
21.
Okay, so the other one wasn't 21. I wouldn't let her drink. Yeah, I might if there was stuff that needed to be done. It was more organizing and helping me get stuff.
Well, you need to provide food.
Yeah, but that was Roland had to help me out with the. That's one day. Roland knows everyone, so we can get more barbecue from that place. It was great. What was it called?
Did you get from Blue Ribbon?
Blue Ribbon or Blue
That's the
Smoke? No,
best.
not Blue Ribbon. Was it Blue
Blue
Ribbon?
Smoke?
Blue Ribbon?
Blue Smoke?
One of those two.
You just said it was a blue ribbon.
I don't remember.
Smoke.
I don't remember.
Blue something.
Blue something.
Someone.
That's right. That's exactly right. Well, but you might invite your friends over.
Yeah, I'm thinking of it. And if I don't go away, I might go. I might stay home. I want to go to L.A. I've been going to L.A. a lot on breaks.
Yeah, but I mean, go to L.A. in the winter.
Well, how about we just do something to Jim's house regardless of if he's there or not?
No.
Yeah. No. He said no.
You know, sometimes when you want to go to L.A. because you want to have a hiney put in your face.
I see.
And you'd be silly not to.
No, you're right.
I get that.
What's that?
I get that.
Would you travel to have this hiney put in your face?
Okay, he found the hiney. That's what he was looking for on his phone.
In a second.
You would?
I'll travel all the way across the world.
It'd be hard to blame you.
Good for you, Jim.
It's quite a hiney. Jim's showing off the hiney he's going to get in his face.
Oh, boy.
It's a really nice hiney.
Jim's being bright.
Is it not phenomenal?
Yeah. How's the rest of it?
What difference does it make?
Jim.
Jim's being braggadocious about his conquests.
Not even a conquest.
I like that, though. Jim can be braggadocious with me. I will 100% appreciate it.
I don't mind it.
Because I appreciate other people's, when other people have a little conquest, I enjoy hearing about theirs as well.
Are you looking for more photos?
A video.
Oh, my goodness.
Show me whatever you got.
You guys just talk. You don't have to
Show me what you got, little mama.
What are we going to talk about now?
Well, I was going to no, I can't begin a new thing, if I don't have your attention.
I'm listening to you.
I know you're listening.
Put a song on or something while you guys watch your video?
Oh, jeez.
What did you see there, Troy? Why don't you describe it?
Troy's in a bad place.
Yeah.
Is that nice?
You're sending me in a downward spiral.
Troy, what did you see?
Very nice. Very nice rear end.
Oh, my goodness. Look at that. The tights are on and the tights are off.
I didn't see the tights off.
Oh, yeah, the tights come off. It looks better when the tights are off. It's fun to watch the tights come off because they descend over those rounded cheeks. Did you notice it, Troy, when they come down?
It's like a work of art.
It is. Yeah. It is.
It's probably the best ass I've ever seen.
So you might not be here.
Yeah, I might be cleaning that.
I see. Okay, well, either way.
Yeah.
Either way. Either way, you'll have to just let us know.
Yeah, I'm just being silly.
But
I've been going to LA. I like going out there because I missed it. We hadn't gone except when we worked.
It's a great spot.
It's good seeing Jonathan. I see Jen when I'm out there and just hang out and go eat. It's I like it. I always enjoy myself out there.
Yeah. Your friend was on the Tony Awards last night. Did you see your friend?
Amy was nominated for.
No, I didn't mean Amy.
No. Oh. No, I didn't see what happened.
Your friend Bob.
Bobby was there.
What a douchebag.
What?
Yes, Bobby was there.
Oh, it was so cool. And he was, Chris, Jim? Yeah, it was so cool.
Chris.
Oh.
Walking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize in the moment I was so fucking blown away to be introduced to Walking by him that I'm looking at the deer hunter. I wasn't even thinking in that moment, this is the fucking Russian roulette scene from the deer hunter.
Absolutely. Do you have the video of it? Because I'd like.
I was only sent the audio.
Okay, we'll have make sure that Troy gets the link to the.
Shitloaf says he sent the video.
Did you send the shit video that he sent? Okay.
No, you idiot.
What? No,
I sent the Guardian one.
I'm sorry that I said that, Shitloaf.
Did you see this asshole, by the way, your co-host posting for National Best Friends Day?
It was like all of it, the photos, every single celebrity photo he had. He just keeps.
I was being selective. I should have just done people who are in trouble. But again, thanks to cocksucker Apple, I can't just go and find by name real quick.
You didn't put them all in the same color-coded folder?
But I mean, you can't just look for the names on your fucking laptop. I wanted to put up Cosby, Harvey Weinstein, all these Woody Allen. I wanted
have one
to.
with Harvey?
Yeah, I did. We interviewed Harvey. Me and Anthony interviewed Harvey.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And he sent us a nice email after. But I wanted to just do it like people who have gotten in trouble. But I wound up putting silly ones, and the one I really wanted to put I couldn't find, which was Kevorkian. I had a great one. The one I wanted to do for National Best Friends Day was Jack Kevorkian, but I couldn't find it, of course. And then you go on your laptop, and you just can't find the metadata with what you had named it. Is that information lost forever, these pieces of shit at this company?
Yeah,
It's
you should just
gone.
name it.
But I did name them years ago.
Tim Cook said Eddie
What
Q.
a fucking asshole Tim Cook is.
Eddie Q fought to keep it, and Tim Cook said we don't need it. And they went with Tim Cook, unfortunately.
Is there a way to still use iPhoto or no?
Yeah, you just don't I mean, if you have an old computer or you don't update your operating system.
You know what it is? My old computer broke. It dropped off my couch, so I can't see the screen. So I got to hook up an external monitor to it, and then try to get the iPhoto.
Just so that way you can
the
look
labels.
up your...
Dude, I have years of fucking named photos on there.
Yeah, that's why I just keep them in a folder on a flash drive.
Yeah,
Named-
that.
named.
Do you?
Yeah.
But what program do you use, or none?
No, it's just a folder with the
all your
photos.
okay.
File
And
names.
they're just named by whoever the photo is with.
I just
that's
scroll
probably
up-
the best way to do it.
I just
Okay.
scroll on my phone real quick.
Dude, it really is that much of a nightmare. I don't remember what year I met Kevorkian, 2011, 2010. I
It
don't
was
remember.
here.
Yeah, it was
Yeah, I
Ron
remember
Bennington. I was there in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Can't
I-
get a photo with him now.
No. But how funny
Why
would that
not?
have been for National Best Friends Day?
He's dead.
He's dead.
He didn't like me and the Beebs? Chilling?
Oh,
No.
my God.
Why not?
No.
Me and Bobby D? Chilling?
I like your smile in that photo.
It was genuine.
Never seen a happier boy.
Dude, there was zero irony in that.
No, no.
And Bob was smiling too.
Yeah.
Loves
Okay, he posted a photo with Dice.
I like the Patton one.
Patton Oswalt is
That
a really
was,
good
I'll tell you
one.
where that was. That was at a fucking charity event at Adam Carolla's house. Leno did it. Patton did it. I did. There's a couple more people. And I forget what it was for, but that's all Carolla's property. And then I remember me and Patton taking that silly photo.
And looking sexily at the
Yeah,
camera.
Dice, that was at the Apollo.
And we could send
Where did we
Russell
go?
Peters in.
Yeah, Russell, come in. Is he here?
Yeah, he
I'll
can
bring
come
him
in whenever he wants. Just keep scrolling down, though. Who else is there?
Mayor Marion Barry.
Marion Barry for Best Friends. Of course.
Bruce
Jenner. That's a rare one.
Bruce Jenner, that was at the Tonight Show.
That's a tough one to get.
The Jay Leno Show. Nina Hartley.
Was she really touching your penis?
Oh boy, was she! That was the first kissing scene. That was in Otto's movie American Dummy.
Look at you with the boyish, wide-eyed face.
That was a silly little photo at the end, and that was when Nina and I. For anyone that doesn't know Nina Hartley, she has the greatest ass in porn history, and she's a legend in adult film.
She played William H. Macy's wife in Boogie Nights.
Yes, he killed her. I think my wife's got an ass in her cock.
Yeah.
And she and I did a kissing scene. That's probably 2002 in American Dummy, whenever that was, 2001. And that's the comic strip in New York. And we made out. She played Louis Black's wife in it. And at the end of it, she and I have a big makeout scene, a little kiss. And she gave me a hard on. Kissing her, I'd never kissed a girl in front of people, camera crew. She takes my hand, she puts it on her breast. She's like, you know you want to. And that was a goof photo. We made out, and literally my dick got hard in front of a crew. I couldn't believe she turned me on like that.
And over here in this photo, she's grabbing you by the penis.
Being silly, licking my cheek. She was a sexy...
You like that one?
Oh, my fucking God. I saw her years later, and of course she remembered, the film and the scene. She's a really sexy person, man.
Who's next? Susan Boyle.
Oh, yeah, that was here.
Doing the same thing as Nina Hartley, which is really weird.
Yeah,
exactly.
Grabbing Jim by the penis. And that's
Yes.
actually, by the way, scroll up. If you look at that photo of Jim.
It's a partial chip. I was doing chip.
It's an early chip.
Early chip.
It's a very early chip with Susan Boyle.
Yeah.
Very early. Of course, Justin Bieber throwing up the deuces.
Yeah, me and the Biebs chilling.
That's cool. That's cool stuff. Love it. Oh, and of course, Robert De Niro.
He was happy, too.
He was fine. He wasn't happy.
No, he was happy. He
fine.
didn't smile in photos. He doesn't smile in photos.
Well, I have a photo of Kanye West smiling. I should have posted that on Best Friends Day.
Of course you should have.
Yeah. I posted, though, like just recently when the album came out. So, Paul in New Jersey.
Huh?
Hey, guys, what's going on?
What's up, Paul?
Hey, Paul.
Hey, Jimmy, did you see Anthony's comment regarding your picture with De Niro?
Oh, I did. Something on Twitter. What did he say? Something. I forget what it was. Not. It was not complimentary. Complimentary.
I cracked up over it. National Parasite Day.
Yes, it was very funny. I didn't care for Anthony's commentary, but yeah, he's not a liar.
Well, your good friend.
Some Casey Crowley made it very funny.
Your good friend Bob was at the Tony Awards.
Good. He
night.
asked me if I wanted to hook up and hang, and I just didn't have time.
I don't think that's true.
It's true.
And this is how it went down.
Ladies and gentlemen, Robert De Niro.
That's how you know they don't know him.
You don't think they know him?
No.
I'm going to say one thing. Fuck Trump.
Whoa! Look at him. He's got his arms up in the air.
I do?
Russell Peters, welcome, man. Hit pause for a second. We're watching
De Niro at the
De Niro at the Tonys. What's going on, man?
Hi, kids.
How are you?
Look at you, Sammy.
Look at
so
me.
Proud of you, kid.
Thank
Jim,
you.
I expected this up.
Yes, of course.
You're the real shocker here.
Did you see De Niro last night at the Tonys?
Tonys. No, I'm straight, so I didn't watch the Tonys, but I did see the highlights.
Let's just watch this clip. This is a good one.
I'm going to say one thing. Fuck Trump.
Look at his arms up in the air. Really took a risk playing to this audience.
That's what I was thinking in my head.
Yeah, it's not the riskiest move, but then again...
Look at De Niro looking like an old man with his fists pumping in the
he
air.
is. He's 74, still working hard.
Fuck Trump.
I'm 2 years older than that kid.
Well, you know, whatever Bob says, I'm okay with.
Get off my lawn, Trump. Oh, he got a standing ovation. I can't believe it.
Yeah.
I can't believe it. That's unheard of.
Tough crowd.
Yeah.
No longer down with Trump. It's fuck Trump.
You hear that?
I'll say this. He's consistent.
Absolutely. This is the guy who said he's going to punch Trump in the face if he ever saw
He has
him.
not wavered. He said if he was in a restaurant and Trump walked in, he would leave.
I like that.
Didn't he bar him from all the Nobus, too?
Yeah, that's right.
That's the problem, is that I don't think Trump ever went to a Nobu in his life.
No, but that's the beauty of it. Just get yourself a little press for the restaurant. Smart.
You can't come to Nobu and there's just a picture of Donald Trump smiling eating KFC on his plane. Like, yeah.
He's got a Happy Meal.
And by the way, the guy telling me that, Corey, I know that the iPhone has the Faces album. Fuck the Faces album.
Well, wait,
I want to name my fucking photos.
Let Corey explain it to
can't name when you loaded to the new software a couple years ago, Apple. All the things you've named your photos in iPhoto is now gone.
Really?
Piece of shit company.
I just did the update, too. Let me see this.
Jim is very upset because in iPhoto, you know, he named all of his photos.
Oh, iPhoto on your laptop, though.
Yeah, right.
Oh, who does that?
So, like, if he had a celebrity, if he wanted to look up his photo with Russell Peters, he could just type in Russell Peters because he named it that,
right?
And he could find it.
Sure.
But then they updated iPhoto to photos, just straight photos, and now
There's
you can't look
out
up
all your
your
subfolders.
Dude, they took them off. There's no reason for them to have done that. It's just a scumbag
Well, they
move.
do fucking weird things, like when you buy a movie, and you would download it, it would go to your iPad,
right?
And now you buy the movie, and it tells you it's there, and then you ask if you want to download it. No, I fucking want to buy it. I bought it. I want to fucking put it on my iPad.
Well, now they want you to watch in the cloud.
And they want you to use the cloud.
Yeah, I know, but when you're on a plane,
It doesn't help,
You're in
does
the
it?
clouds,
Right? Right.
It doesn't help you. I really started to hate them because of what they're trying to manipulate you into doing, and the way they're trying to manipulate people into interacting is upsetting.
Yeah, and I'm friends with this guy named Denzel Fiegelson. He's the guy who created iTunes.
Really?
Yeah, and I spent a week with him in Chile last year, and we were talking about it. He goes, I don't know why they fucked up my perfectly good ideas.
They did, right?
He said they took something that worked and fucked it up.
Yeah, they've done some really,
They
really annoying
complicated
things.
for no reason.
It does get frustrating because I have a ton of those, a ton of movies from iTunes, and you'll get on the plane like, oh, you know what I'd love to watch? Well, too bad because you didn't spend a half an hour downloading it before you got on the plane.
Yeah, and now when I some of my shit when I'm not on Wi-Fi will show up on my iPad, and then when I'm on Wi-Fi it disappears. I'm like, where'd it go?
Yeah.
Right.
The system stinks. And you're on tour, Russell. Dude, Russell. But no, I wanted to ask you too, because we mentioned before when you came in that your openers, like guys who work with you, I mean, I'm too dirty to open for you, but guys who open for you, like Greg Rogel talks about fucking how awesome these gigs are, and he flies great accommodations.
Jim said that he would like to open for you.
I would put you on my shows, Jim.
For
You
the
kidding me?
amenities.
The amenities alone.
Specifically.
I don't know if Russell's crowd would like me, to be honest. I'm probably not right for that.
Oh, they
gig.
wouldn't, but I mean, still, it'd be fun for me to watch. At
Mix
this
it
point,
up a
who's
little
doing
bit.
it for them, right?
That is a good point. Maybe Dubai. They're very conservative in Dubai.
They would be Dubai bye career.
They would not be probably. They would not. What would they like in my act in Dubai? All the sexual shit.
Yeah, and you know what's funny is my new act has some sex stuff, and people are like, "Are you sure you want to do that act in Dubai?" I go, "It's just the act I'm doing now. I mean, it's just the way it goes."
Yeah. So you don't cater specifically towards any place.
No, I try not to because it's just what's the point of being you?
Yeah, I
They're
guess
paying
so.
to see you.
Yeah.
You know,
Have you gotten to spots where you're like, oh God, like because you do these big venues. So
Yeah,
do you
no,
get to
I mean-
other countries where you're like, oh God, this doesn't work as well in this country.
Not on this tour. I mean, there's some things that if the audience isn't as mixed as I wanted it to be, some jokes may fall a little flatter than they should have.
Yeah.
That's just the way it goes.
You don't care?
I don't care. I mean, I care, obviously, but this is the act I'm doing right now, so, this is I can't change it for you. I can, but...
Not going to.
It's a bit pandery, and it seems fucking not true to yourself.
But is it weird though, like when you do, because you have people in your, we've all had celebrities in the audience, but you get guys like from the Saudi royal family, like really high pressure guys, and in their country. It's not like they're here at the Comedy Cellar, like they're in Saudi Arabia watching you, and they run the country.
Well, those guys get it the most. They understand everything the best because they've traveled the world, they've studied abroad. They have to keep up their appearance for whatever they got to keep their appearances up for. But they really enjoy the show because to them it's like a break from everybody just kissing their ass all day,
It
and
is,
they like it.
Yeah, and I don't talk to them when I'm on stage because you're not allowed to talk to them.
Right.
And nor do you want to take that chance of talking to them and saying the wrong fucking thing.
Right.
And it's not even them that'll get upset. It's one of their one of their followers that gets upset on their behalf and wants to kill you for their honor. So I don't want to find out what the wrong side of this train is.
Right. So you don't do that.
Yeah, I don't.
You don't acknowledge them at all in the audience.
No, they'll tell me sometimes. Like so and so's here. They're sitting to that. That's I don't talk to them.
Who made you nervous when they were there?
I get nervous around other comics, I think, is what my problem is.
Like who?
Any of them. Like, I always feel like they're fucking judging me,
Yeah, I mean, no comedian likes to know that a comedian is there for... First of all, when a comic is there for your headline set, you're like, they're going to be gone by the end of it. You always expect them to be gone by the fucking end of it.
Had some friends show up the other day, and I was like, oh, at the end of the show, they were still there. I go, oh, you're still here.
Yeah. You don't expect them to watch. You figure they're going to watch and see one hacky thing, and they're going to leave my show. Yeah, I'm panicking about that, too.
Yeah, I hate that stuff.
But wait, who was it they said in the audience, don't talk to them?
It happens all the time. They'll be like, a member of the royal family's here, one of the princes, one of the princesses, whatever it'll be. Whichever country. I mean, there's so many... You forget, like, when you're here, you forget that there's actual royal families all over the world.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and it's so bizarre, because you're like, really? That's a thing still?
Well, I was just going to say, when you were like, it'll be one of his followers that comes and gets you, it's like mind-blowing that there are countries where the people feel so passionate and good about their leaders.
Well, it's a weird world we're living in where people feel passionate and good about so many other weird things, too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Who's opening for you?
Jake Johansson.
Oh, my God. Yeah, Jake is really good.
Yeah, Jake's a beast. I was such a fan of his growing up as well. I used to record him when he was on Letterman. And then when I heard that he would work with me, I was like, are you shitting me?
And he's clean and he's hilarious.
Yeah,
Jake Johansson is really funny and completely TV clean.
No, he gets...
Does he get dirty?
I've never... dirty, but it's funny when he does swear. I'm like, it's so weird. I've never heard you swear before, So
he'll do like 20 minutes in front of you in these places.
20 off the top.
And he'll know what to do in again, Saudi Arabia, Dubai.
He's fine. He's the least of my worries.
Really?
Yeah. I'm more worried about me than I am about him.
So you've performed in Saudi Arabia?
I have, yeah.
Because that's got to be like insane. You don't adjust at all, even when you're in Saudi Arabia.
I mean, they tell the promoter, aka one of the royal family members, will pull me. So they won't send you their cronies. They'll come to you direct. Because they're cool like that.
They'll come to you direct. Other people, they probably send their cronies.
Yeah, they'll send like some fucking flunky for somebody else, but the prince will actually come and talk to me directly. He'll be like, hey, so happy you're here. Thank you. Listen, do me a favor. Don't mention religion. Don't mention the royal family. And I go, I was going to do that anyway. He goes, try not to do too much sex. I go, huh? I look at him and I go, we all have sex, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
I go, we all have sex. And I go, we don't all have royal families. And we don't all believe in God, so how about I'll do the sex stuff, but I won't be as graphic as I could have been. He goes, thank you, that's all I ask. And it's not like you will do this.
Yeah.
They're very, very...
Like any other gig, they just come up and go,
they're
look.
very apologetic about it because they're like, listen, I don't have a problem with it, but these fucking people will.
Well, and how do the people react to it? Like, is there sort of...
They dug it, dude. In Saudi Arabia, when I got on stage, Greg was on that show, wasn't he?
I'm sure he was.
Yeah, Greg was on that. I took Greg Rogel, one of the Jewiest sounding guys in the world, to Saudi Arabia to perform, and he fucking killed.
Of course he did. He again, Rogel is fucking hilarious, man.
Yeah,
he kills.
Yeah, he destroyed. And then you're performing, and I'm standing in the middle. So I'm standing on stage in the middle because that's where the aisle is, because they had the men on the right and the women on the left. They wouldn't mix.
Sure, they don't mix them.
Yeah, so I stood right at the aisle and performed to the aisle. And then if I was talking to women, I would just turn my body, and if I was talking to men, I'd turn my body.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Is it awkward, though?
It was for maybe like the first couple of minutes. Then you just get used to it. It turns into what it is.
You do an hour in that session. That's
hour and a half.
Wow.
Yeah.
They're trying to modernize things a lot
Very
over
much,
there, right?
Very much.
It
That
really-
guy's doing some big changes over there.
It really is funny because like, you hear about it because WWE just did a big show over there too, and that's why
That shit is huge
over there.
Over there in India as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Like it's like ridiculously huge. My uncle who lives in Calcutta, who lives in like a little village, like you know those villages you see on like UNICEF commercials,
Yeah.
where it's all fucking mud and flies. Yeah, he lives in one of those. I don't know why. I asked him if I could buy him a condo. He's like, no, I like it here. I'm like, this is weird. So I go to his place, and it's like, you know, one of these just cement wall places he lives in. It's just like they put cement down, and they don't put like a floor really. They just put like cement walls,
just walls,
and a tin roof.
Do they know you there? And I'm sure they do.
Yeah, but like not in those little villages.
No.
They just know that I'm not from there when they see me. So I go to my uncle's place, and he's got like posters of fucking Stone Cold Steve Austin on the wall, and who's the guy doing acting now?
The Rock?
No, the other one.
John Cena?
Yeah, John Cena.
Yeah.
Got John Cena on the wall.
Yeah. It's amazing.
So wild. Like, but like not like framed posters, like just those little like a fucking teenager would throw it up on the wall. like how I had a Farrah Fawcett one in the 70s.
And now I have one of her son.
Oh, you really do like faucets.
Was he a naughty boy?
Not
Attempted
good.
murder.
Not good.
Oh yeah, he got it. He got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. They got him.
Jesus. Oh boy.
They got him.
He's yeah. Imagine that. That's your mom. His dad is Ryan
O'Neal.
Ryan O'Neal.
Yeah.
Fuck.
So who over there are the people that are trying to maintain tradition in Saudi Arabia? Because it seems like, obviously, the guy who's the prince who's in charge now is trying to modernize things. And it feels like a lot of the people, when they get a taste of it, like it.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
like they don't rebel against
It's
that.
not the people so much. There's like these things, though. There's these people over there called the cultural police or the religious police.
Mm-hmm.
And they literally, like, I was in the mall, and the guy, some random guy just walks up to me and, like, did you pray today? I'm like, what? What? Did I? No. What?
What'd you say to him?
Then somebody with me, because you can't be rude to these guys apparently. So they had like somebody with me who spoke Arabic, and they were like, and he was just like looking at me like, "Fucking, how dare you?" You know what I mean?
Wow.
He told him he's not from here. He doesn't. You know.
But what if I was there? He would look at me and know I'm not.
No, he would still ask you.
Really?
Yep. They don't, because there's people that look like there's Arabs that look like you guys, especially you.
He would say, "Did you pray today?"
Yeah, but he asks you in Arabic, and I'm like, huh? And I know what he's asking me because the guy warned me before I got to the mall. If these guys come up to you, you know. But it's so weird because
you can't be rude to them.
No, and because part of me wants to go, fuck you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I don't pray ever.
Yeah, wrong response.
Yeah.
Completely.
I don't even watch Eat, Love, Pray.
Yeah. No, but I've been meaning to.
Yeah.
That's the answer you give him.
That's amazing.
I was praying that I would.
We have the PC police. Like people say, oh, the PC police. Over there, it's actual police. that are coming up
guys.
to you. And,
Actual guys.
Wow. Well, how are the malls over there?
The malls are amazing. They have every fucking. It's all designer stores, and they're never open.
Why?
Really?
Because they got to pray 5 times a day. So every time I would go to the mall, it was like a fucking prayer hour or prayer time, and I was like, "Is this mall ever?" I went there 4 times; it was never open. Because this mall fucking ever open?
They shut down the whole mall.
Yeah, they shut it down.
Yeah,
of course. It's Gucci, Louis, Hermes. It's every designer, everything designer. There's nothing cheap in those malls.
Wow.
Yeah, it's just like going to a mall here, but probably costs a lot more there.
Yeah, but
no,
over
there's
here,
no taxes there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they got a lot of money over there. I don't know if you're aware of that.
What did you do? Did you go? How often do you go to Dubai? Do you spend a couple days there?
I've spent much time there. I've been going there for 20 years now. You realize that?
Okay. I really want to go once, just to go to the top of the fucking tower.
I've been there as many times as I have. I've never gone to the top of the tower.
You don't want to?
It's never occurred to me because I'm an idiot.
You don't stay in that hotel in there?
No, I stay in like the first time I went to Dubai, none of that shit existed. So when I was there, it was the Hyatt was the only hotel there, and it was in the middle of the fucking desert. And we would perform at this place called the what was it called? It was like the Safe or something like that. It was like the Vault. It was called the Vault.
Okay.
And it was this nightclub in the basement of the Hyatt. And then as soon as the show was done, it would just fill up with hookers. Like Russian hookers.
Wow, it's like my room.
But these were women. And, and I didn't realize they were hookers, and I thought like I thought these women saw me at the show and I killed or something.
Yeah.
Because they were all like talking to me and like friendly, and I'm like, all right.
How expensive are they there? It's got to be crazy.
Well, that's the thing. At the time, I didn't know. I didn't have money, first of all, for frivolous vaginas.
Sure.
But the promoter bought me one. And I was so
Nice.
scared of AIDS in like 98, 99.
Sure.
And that because we didn't really know much, especially back then even, that I just took her up to the room and jerked off on her. That's all I did.
That's fine.
I was like, you know what?
That's
I don't.
safe.
Yeah. I was
She was
like,
probably happy, too. Like, I don't have to do anything. You're just going to jerk
yeah,
off?
Yeah. So, that's what happened then.
But that's why you haven't been up to the top of the tower.
Well, and then every time I go back, there's something new. There's a new Mall of Emirates, or there's this new hotel, there's this new this, and then by the time you get there, that tower ends up at the back of the fucking list.
What's a hotel that's amazing to stay in there? I'm dying to go to Dubai.
You really want to go?
Yeah, I've been saying it for
Who
years.
Kid goes a lot.
He does.
He sure does.
DJ
But Who
Who
Kid goes everywhere all
He
over.
does.
My
It
buddy
never
has,
makes sense because I'm friends with the guy, and I know he doesn't know how to DJ.
He's
the part
terrible
that-
at
He's
DJ.
terrible.
He's
He's
a
a
horrible
horrible
DJ.
DJ.
You
I'm
know,
actually doing his show later. I'm going to remind him that he's a horrible DJ.
He told me when he started DJing, 50 Cent asked him to DJ, and he hadn't done it before.
Yeah.
And this is you're a guy who's like a DJ guy, like you like vinyl DJs.
Yeah.
This will drive you insane. He took, the 360 machines with the buttons on them?
Yeah.
The sound effect machines? He got 2 of them, and he just put a bunch of songs on them and actually programmed one of the buttons to do a record scratch sound effect.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I
So
know
he would
all
just
about
sit
it.
there pushing
I
the
remember
buttons.
his mixtapes back in the day.
Yeah.
And I was like, what is this? Bam, bam, bam. And then the song would start. And you're like, what is that?
Is that good?
Yeah, and it was always the same cut.
Right. Because Hookah DJ was terrible, and so his mixtapes weren't on the skill of DJing, but what he would do is he would steal songs from studios. So artists would have unreleased songs because the tape was stolen. Who Kid would steal the tape and then release a mixtape.
That was the whole purpose of buying the Who Kid mixtape back
Right.
in the day. Because he had 50 Cent stuff before anybody had 50 Cent stuff.
Right.
He's basically the guy that broke 50 Cent.
That's right. That's right. But it was all unfinished stuff.
Yeah, it was like all these demos.
Right.
And I remember like buying one of his mixtapes, and it had like this one version of a Biggie song that had Keith Murray on it that never came out. And I was like, where the fuck you get that? He goes, I don't know.
Yeah, he just...
And he always has that smile. I don't know. I just got it.
Yeah.
Well, that's not out. I don't know. Yes, the bitches gave it to me. I think he'll just give him shit.
He always has the baddest bitches with him.
He really does.
Of course he does.
So what's the best hotel in Dubai?
I don't know. There's a 7-star hotel in Dubai, but I've never stayed there.
Why, you don't want to?
No, because
expensive?
I have to end up footing the bill.
Oh, yeah.
And then, and the problem is when I'm on the road and I got say all of us were on the road, I'm not going to go stay in a different hotel than you.
That's cool.
So I'm not.
When Jim and I literally the last time Jim and I were on the road together, not the last time, when we went to Montreal though,
Yeah.
Jim stayed in a different hotel.
I
with
was
me.
at the W. You were at the Hyatt.
At the Hyatt. Yeah.
I stayed at the Intercontinental because I hate the W. The Hyatt's shit. I literally would sleep on the fucking outside under a stage before I'd stay there. But the other ones itch me. I can only stay in certain hotels where I can't sleep.
I don't
I will
like the
say-
bathrooms in the W. They're too fucking.
Yeah.
I like my shit useful.
I don't want to take a
Right.
dump through opaque glass. You know, with a girl
Yeah,
just watching
yeah,
shitting. She can see your silhouette fucking
Yeah,
sitting
yeah.
there with a newspaper.
Yeah. I like that the newspaper was huge.
It really was. Yeah, I'm a little guy. I read big papers.
You did get us into a nicer hotel in L.A. than I would have gotten into without you, though.
Which one?
So I have to give you credit for that.
Motel 8.
Nice. Otherwise, he was at the 6. You up him by 2.
Yeah, we stayed at the London, which is great.
Yeah.
Oh, the London's nice.
So what is the hotel in Dubai that Jim has to see?
I want to stay. I want to stay in the one in the
There's
Burj
a 7
Khalifa.
star. You got to stay. Is that the Burj Khalifa? I think it is.
No,
right?
no, that's the Calvin Klein Hotel. The 7-star, is that the sailboat one?
I don't know. What are you?
Look
what
for
do you got
7-star hotel.
It is the sailboat one.
there? Yeah.
Yeah. What's the sailboat hotel in Dubai? What makes it a 7-star
I don't
hotel? Like
know,
how
like-
nice can you make it? There it is. It looks like the building is shaped
Like a
like
sail.
the
That's the one where you
sail.
can golf at the top of the building.
Oh my god.
That's the one where they had Tiger Woods golfing at the top of the building one time. They had somebody running around the building. I think David Beckham jogging around the building. Like that's pretty fantastic.
I mean, it does look like a very nice bathroom.
I
That's a
would
nice
like
room.
to stay there one day, but I think I would have to be on my own, and then it's going to cost you a fortune.
How much do you
Yeah.
think a night is there?
I don't
Probably
know, what
over
does it say?
$150.
Easily. I mean, they might have a Groupon.
Yeah.
Check the Burj Khalifa. I want to stay in the fucking. I want to get a girl to go over there with
Hey,
me.
why don't you do this, Jim?
What?
I'm going to be out there. I think for January. I'm going to be out there in January shooting my new special in Abu Dhabi.
How's Abu Dhabi? I hear that's pretty nice.
It's pretty cool too.
How do you decide like where you're gonna?
I
shoot
just
these?
did. I told my brother shit really early, right? I think maybe even before we got on tour, I was like, I think I want to shoot my next special in Dubai. And he goes, okay. And then we came back and goes, how about Abu Dhabi? I go, sure.
What's the difference? Which is nice? They're both nice.
They're both nice. Dubai's Abu Dhabi and Dubai are always competing with each other. They're the same royal family, but different brothers or something. So they're,
I see.
So it's like, they're always trying to one up each other. Hence why, Emirates Airline is amazing, and then Etihad, which is the one out of Abu Dhabi, came up with these suites, the private suites, where you have your own bedroom, a living room, and a shower.
So that's why everything is amazing because they're competing with each other.
Yeah, and they're stinking rich, so they can do whatever they want.
So we all benefit from that. Anybody who's going over there.
Well, they also benefit. I mean, $40,000 a flight is.
Oh my God!
Is that how much it is? Wow.
Well, private suites, I think something like that, right? 30, 35,
Maybe
$40,000.
maybe they could send me and a young lady friend, and I'll give them a review.
Yeah. Let them know that
you'll
give
them great. We fucked on that plane. No council review. This was bad.
See if you can make a deal for.
Please kill Mr. Norton.
See if you can make a deal for social posts. What about like 3 Instagram posts and a Twitter mention?
I'm open to
Look
all
at
of
that,
it.
$6,000. That's not that bad.
A night.
Oh, that's a.
Oh, it's only $1,600 a night.
$1,600 a night.
That's not bad at all.
No,
brother. Why aren't we staying there?
Although the panoramic 1-bedroom suite is 17.
There's 11 of us when we're on tour. I'm not paying fucking $2,000
By the way,
a night for
that's still a lot of money.
That's the cheapest room.
Dude, it's a lot of money. But I'm just saying that I would have expected
$9,000 a night.
$9,000 a night.
Look at that bed.
Royal 2-bedroom suite.
2 bedrooms. So that could save you. Oh,
okay, so you could split it in between a couple people.
Well, I want to have a fucking. I'm having a council meeting. Yeah. Those are nice.
Yeah. Now, are you, Russell? Would you, if the meeting in Singapore goes well, are you watching this between Trump
and Stump?
That's right. Would you then go like, okay, maybe we're opening up North Korea a little bit. Maybe it's time Russell Peters does a show in North Korea.
Well,
would you be the first comedian to do North Korea?
If there was to be, I would like to be that guy.
Yeah.
But I think it might be Ken Jeong or something.
Sure. Or Yoshi Abayashi.
Yoshi. Hey, I just want to open for you in North Korea. Hey, tell Jim Norton say hi.
But you would do it for sure, right?
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, first I got to do South Korea, I think.
Yeah.
You've never done?
I haven't done South Korea. I just did Japan for the first time.
How was that?
Amazing. It was ridiculous. I got a standing ovation when I walked out.
Really?
Yeah, and we didn't expect it. They had to keep moving the venue to a bigger venue. I mean, we only ended up like 1,500 or 2,000 seats, but I mean, again, Japan. Nobody thinks Japan. You're going to go there.
Right.
Musicians go there and kill it all the time. But,
right.
Comedy, it's something you have to really understand English for.
Yeah, you have to understand the nuances and what makes it funny. Sure. Where's the biggest place you're doing on this tour?
So far, what have we done? We did Wembley Arena in London. I think it was 13 or 14,000. And then we did Sydney, Australia. Again, that same venue. I think we sold it out 5 or 6 times now. And,
the Opera House?
No. Opera House is tiny.
Is that the only venue
it's
you
not
know
tiny.
in Sydney?
I've been
No, because the Opera House is just full of small rooms.
No, but there was one venue in the Opera House I did like 3,000 people. It was a room with a bunch of comedians on it.
Yeah, I did that about 10 or 11 years ago. That Opera House.
Yeah, I didn't even sell it. I just literally did it with
Jim. He does bigger rooms.
He does.
Jim's
bigger.
respected. I'm not.
He does.
That's the trade-off.
He does bigger rooms than my Netflix special reached. Yeah, Russell does huge rooms.
We did that. Whatever it was called. They changed the name every time this arena go back. Then there was about 13,000 people there too.
It's pretty nice.
Not too shabby.
Not too shabby.
Yeah, I would go and watch Russell do it. I've seen Russell came to my HBO. The first thing I did for HBO, which was 2006. We were promoting Lucky Louie. And I did a half hour. It was myself and Kevin Brennan that night. Mm-hmm. It was, I think, the first time Russell and I met. Yoshi brought Russell.
Yep.
And you're such a good guy because, we're both big Kiss fans. And you brought me a nice Kiss book, which I did not have like a photo, but it was beautiful. And I was like, what a sweet guy this is. Just to bring me a nice welcome gift for my half-hour special.
Killed it.
It was good, yeah. I look back on that. I was a fat fucking pig. But
I mean, I look back on mine now and watch myself get fatter throughout the special.
How bad do you want a photo with the original 4 members? It's all I think of, how I fucking took a gig, a really good money gig for me, when they did the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction, because I didn't know if I'd get the picture. And I will regret that for the rest of my life.
You didn't do it?
I didn't go get the picture.
Oh, you took a gig that
No,
night.
no, but I didn't know if I would get the picture. I didn't know if it would happen.
Gene Simmons said it probably wouldn't have, right?
No. I said
I know.
I didn't know if I'd be backstage with them. I didn't know if I'd get it. And I said to Gene, would I have gotten that picture with the four of you? And he goes, of course, we all know you. And I literally,
that's a terrible
I
thing
would've
to
sh-
hear.
I
Yeah, but
sh-
Gene's will always say shit like that to you.
No, but he's kind of honest though. I think he would have said no. And they all do know me. All of them would have known my face.
I haven't met Ace or Peter yet.
Oh my God!
And I really got to. I think we should get on top of Peter first because he's in his 70s now.
I would love to. Yeah, I'm sure Peter's wife is very proactive in his
Lydia?
career. Yeah, no, I
That's
forget
his
her name.
ex-wife,
His
right?
ex-wife. I forget his wife's name now. She's nice though. I saw her at Black
That's how you know
Sabbath.
we're Kiss Geeks because
I
you know
know.
their ex-wife's name.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, technically, no, his third wife from, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, his
I have a
first
nice-
wife was the Coppertone model chick.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a nice. I did some hard rock. I was at some hard rock thing, and Peter and Ace were there together.
Wow.
And Ace was playing, and Peter came out and did a couple of songs.
That's pretty cool.
It was fucking great.
Well, why don't you tell me about these things? Why don't you call me and go, hey.
I didn't know about it until they were there.
Okay.
I didn't know about it until they actually both
I always
showed
feel like
up.
Florentine's getting that call before me.
Yeah, I forget that you're such a Kiss fan.
When did you
Oh,
start?
you should see how much Kiss feeds I follow on my Instagram.
Really?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I got a nice picture with them tonight. I figured that. I figured
You
it'd be
got
nice.
Peter and Ace on
Together,
a picture?
yeah.
Oh, that's good.
When did you start? Like, so when you're growing up, is it all hip hop and Kiss?
Well, no, I mean, you got to see. I got my first Kiss album in '77.
Okay.
I was still 6, on my way to 7. It was Love Gun.
Oh.
And then that just changed everything for me.
Even I think Destroyer was mine. Before,
Destroy, yeah, that was a run right before.
Yeah.
Well, wasn't Rock and Roll Over in between that?
Yeah, Destroyer, Rock and Roll Over, and then Love Gun.
Yeah.
So
I
when
got
did you
Love
become a hip hop geek?
Somewhere in the early '80s. My brother was listening to funk and stuff. So, but at that time there was rap songs coming up, but they still didn't have the name hip hop yet. So we just thought it was
Right.
Yeah.
we still thought it was funk because they were rhyming over the funk songs, and then we didn't know it was rapping, and then we're just like, oh, it's like some thing they're doing over this, and it sounds kind of cool, and then and then ta-da.
And when did you kind of go like, nah, I'm going to stick with my guys?
Well, Lick It Up. After Lick It Up, when they took the makeup off and Animalize came out
Right.
after, I was like, nah, I'm done.
Yeah.
And then
You
the-
stuck with them through the no makeup
No.
days, right? You also
No,
left.
no.
Lick It Up,
Heaven's on
I sat
Fire.
through Lick It Up and I liked it. And then
Yeah.
Animalize, when they changed Bruce, they had Bruce Kulick in the group, and I was like, okay, it's taken too many changes now.
Yeah.
And I don't like the look of this anymore. And then the glam rock shit was starting, all the 80s.
Yeah.
And I was like, nah, it's not for me.
But they did the same thing Ozzy did to a certain degree. You adjust a little bit, and those bands that survived that stuff and didn't just get wiped off the map made minor adjustments so that people who liked them before were like, what the fuck are you doing? But new people thought, like, all right, they're a part of this culture enough for me to kind of check them out.
Yeah, Ozzy got real weird in the early 80s.
He did, yeah. The fucking sequin fucking gown.
Yeah.
It is what they all did.
And the music was really like happy sounding.
Some of it was, yeah.
I just heard an Ozzy song the other day. I go, I can't believe he was this happy.
Shot in the Dark.
It was like off that what was the album where he had like the jelly coming out of his mouth and he's holding up a crucifix?
That's a live album. That's Speak of the Devil. That was live. He was contracted to do a live record, and he didn't want to do his music because Randy had just died, and he didn't want to put Speak of the Devil on an album with Randy's name on it. So he just got Brad Gillis and those guys, and they fucking learned Sabbath songs in a week.
What's the story behind Ozzy Osbourne's buzz cut? I just saw a photo of him with no
He was
hair.
drunk and he fucking went bald. He just did it and went bald, and then he
looks
taped.
just like Jack.
Yeah, and then he did Speak of the Devil at the. I forget where he taped that, but that
What was the album before Speak of the Devil in?
that would be Diary of a Madman.
Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about then.
That was taped at the same time Blizzard of Oz was. That's why Randy's on both of those records. They think they did them at the same time.
Okay, those are not the ones I'm thinking of. Those albums there.
Man.
I love talking about Ozzy.
You do?
I do. What's up about this stuff?
Because there was this time where it just sounded really fucking corny.
I don't know when.
Oh, don't say that.
Well,
There was like an album or a song. I was just like, it was Bark at the Moon. That was the one that bothered me.
Oh, you didn't like Bark at the Moon? That was 83, yeah.
Yeah,
Did you like Bark at the Moon?
I do this. It's not my favorite album.
No, because it doesn't sound like him. It's Bark at the Moon.
Yeah.
It's like somebody went, Ozzy, I got this song. All right, Bark at the Moon.
Yeah,
And he's like,
it's not.
I could do that. Bark at the Moon.
It was not my. It was the first album, like the first studio album without Randy Rhoads. So it wasn't. It's not his best album. But there's some still. I like the song Bark at the Moon. I like some songs off that.
It is happy. It is a happy feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then that's when you move towards hip hop. So, but you don't really listen to new hip hop,
No,
right?
I checked out a long time.
When did you check out?
I think I checked out somewhere in the late 90s when I could tell you in '97 when they gave Universal Records gave Cash Money Millionaires a $30 million deal.
Make him say,
Yeah, and at that moment I went, oh my God, they're paying black people to be dumb. Like they're literally giving black people money, and they're showing them that if you're dumb or dumber than this, you can make a lot of money. And that fucking worked too.
Yeah.
Because they dumbed it down, and
it's only gotten dumber.
It's gotten ridiculously dumb.
Yeah.
And it bothers me because I am so involved in the black community that I was like, I called it at that time. I go, don't fall for this fucking trick, guys.
Right. Now, there's still good...
The minute it left New York, I was out of it. I was like, okay, what's going on here?
There is still good, smart stuff, but the dumb stuff has gotten dumber.
Stuff's really not that good either.
What do you mean?
It's like there's very rarely, like, there's a lot of backpack stuff where it's just kind of like, eh.
So
but Bumpy Knuckles has a new album out. It's phenomenal.
You don't like Kendrick, though?
I'm not a Kendrick guy at all. I don't get it. I think he's only popular because everything else is so shit right now.
Did you see him have that girl sing on stage and
Yeah, that was fucked up, too.
That
was
stupid
fucked up.
fucking fake
That was a
rebellion.
pussy move. That
Oh,
was a
what
pussy
a move. You wrote the lyrics and go, don't say that one. Shut up.
Yeah, and you're in Alabama.
Fuck you.
It was in Alabama when it happened, right?
Right. What do you think
I
was
mean,
going to happen?
What do you think your audience is going to look like?
Yeah.
But yeah, they don't write it.
Yeah.
They just don't fucking write it.
Yeah, you
Shut
can't get
the
mad
fuck
if
up.
somebody says what you said.
That's literally like...
Don't you quote me.
Yeah, exactly. I could say that. Wow, what a maverick. Yuck.
That's right up there with saying fuck Trump at the Tonys.
Well, you know, if Bob has an opinion and Bob wants to spit it out, I'm down with Bob.
Jim's relationship with Robert De Niro sickens me because it's truly affected everything.
You have a friendship, right?
What am I gonna do? I love you. He wants to kiss me on the cheek. Who am I gonna say no?
That's funny. I'm friends with Paul Herman, who's good friends with De Niro. They grew up together, and so I was at the Emmys last year, and I text Paul Herman. Oh, he texted me. He's like, "Hey, where are you?" I'm at the Emmys, and I go, "Hey, De Niro's here." He goes, "Oh yeah, tell him and Grace."
His wife, yeah.
Yeah. He goes, "Tell him and Grace I said hello. If not, show him this text." And I didn't think I was going to get near him. I'm standing at the snack bar, and there's De Niro and Grace, and his wife's standing there. I go, "Excuse me, Miss Grace?" And she goes, "Hi." And I go, "Paulie Herman sent this text for me to show you." And she goes, "Oh." And then De Niro walks up and goes, "What is this?" And I go, "It's from Paul Herman." And he goes, reads it. Okay. And he walks away. I go, what the fuck? I was already like, "Oh, nice to meet you." I was like, "Okay." And he walks away. Like, God damn it.
Yeah, he's a tough nut to crack, as they say.
Yeah.
But sometimes some people can't they?
If you get in the right way,
You
sure.
and Jesse Curson, I think the only two that have cracked him.
Well, thanks to Jesse, she helped that relationship a lot, Jessica, because he loves Jessica Kirson. She was very close.
She's
to her.
great. I had her open for me last year.
She's hilarious.
She's fucking hilarious.
She's a really funny person.
Yeah. She's very funny and really cool, and she
crazy.
should be much bigger than she is.
I agree, man. You know, she's a very unique comic, and she's completely honest on stage.
Yeah, she's not full of shit.
No.
She doesn't do things to do things.
Right.
No, I really.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah,
And she killed it in front of my crowd.
She did, right?
Yeah.
She did. She's aggressive. She's loud. But
But it's not like that fake
No,
aggressive.
it's not fake.
And
no.
it's not that fake confidence. It's just who she is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she hates her own guts, which is fun to watch.
Yeah, well, I think we all do.
Yeah,
I think,
of course.
I think if you don't hate yourself, you can't be a comic.
Well, you should, yeah. You're probably not going to be one I enjoy.
Yeah. I mean, I can't stand myself, but, I push the perception of confidence out there.
Right.
Yeah.
As long as you be confident for 90 minutes on stage in front of a bunch of people,
they
you're fine.
they think I love myself, and I'm like, no, you've got it all wrong.
No, exactly.
You're so confident and cocky.
No, I'm not.
I fucking hate myself.
I'm garbage personified.
Yeah.
I'm shit squared.
The emoji with a 2 on it.
I'm the 3.14 of shit.
Are you single now?
No.
No.
Oh, you're in a relationship?
Yes.
How's that been while you're on tour?
It's I think it's better because I'm away.
Oh, meaning that like you can miss each other and things like that?
Well, yeah,
Don't you bring her?
Nah, you don't want to do that.
How come? Too much?
Too much pussy on the road. Listen,
You're not worried she's cheating though? I'm so fucking psychotic.
No, I'm not. I always hope, I'm always I'm looking at the front door at all times.
Wait, have you ever had a girl cheat on you?
Yeah, I have.
Did it fuck you up?
It fucked me up. It happened in my early 20s and my late teens, so it fucked me up to this day. You know what I mean? So it kind of fucks,
Would you dump a girl now if she was doing that? If she was
I would
fucking
use
someone?
it as an excuse.
Oh, to dump her.
You know what I mean?
Dude, it's the same thing Mark Norman said when he was in here. We were
Yeah.
like, aren't you worried about your girlfriend cheating on you? And he's like, no, part of me would be relieved.
Yeah.
You know,
To get out of it,
I
yeah.
could, and then I could get out of it, and everything would be
Yeah,
fine.
you get out of it unscathed. I mean, you become the victim.
Right.
It's always easier to get out when you're the victim.
How long have you been in your relationship for?
4 years. We're engaged.
4 years.
Oh, you are okay.
You're engaged, and you're still going like, well, we're engaged, but if she cheats on me, I can get out of it.
You know, I don't want her to cheat on me, but you know.
Where are you getting married? You know where?
No dates.
Oh, you don't have
no
a date.
nothing.
Just you're engaged.
It's been engaged for almost 2 years now.
Is she impatient, or is she like,
No,
yeah, we're
she's
just
cool.
doing
She
what we're
lives
doing?
with me, so what am I going to do?
By the way, Russell has. Sorry to interrupt you. Russell has a bunch of dates. We didn't mention any of your dates in Ontario, California, Lincoln, California, Saratoga, Pala, California, Welch, Minnesota, Montreal, of course, just for last, where Sam and I are also going to be,
But the
and
big
Forest
one-
Hill Stadium in Queens.
Yes, that's
August
the one I'm
18th.
excited about. August 18th, Forest Hill Stadium in Queens.
So if you're here in New York and you want to see Russell, you can see him there. There's a
That's
whole
a
bunch
big one too, you know.
I'm sure it is.
I was trying to
Anything with
switch it up.
stadium on, it's not going to be small.
I was trying to switch it up because we did MSG, we did Barclays, we did what's that other one that Louis shot a special in?
The Beacon.
The Beacon. I've done the
Okay.
Beacon. You know, we've done Radio City.
Yeah,
I was running out of places in New York, and then I was like, let's do Nassau Coliseum. My brother's like, nah. We asked around. They were like, no, you should do Queens. I was like, all right, let's do Queens.
That's the beauty of me. I still always have all these venues to do.
You're like thinking governors.
Yes. Let's see
should
if
I
we
do
get
governors or should I do Dangerfields?
Chappelle was at the Gramercy last night. I walked by and saw his name on the marquee. That's a great little place, like to work. That's like 300 seats.
Yeah.
You know, that's a great.
But
place.
Chappelle can do anything.
Oh, no,
he
no, I'm
wants.
saying he's just working out material.
And he can go do it on an hour's notice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he
can.
could literally be like, I'm going to go do this tonight, and it'll be fucking people lined up around the block.
Sold out 10 shows at Radio City. That's 50,000 people.
Yeah, I did one of them.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I did one of them the night Chris Rock was on. It was pretty wild because I was just hanging out. I wasn't supposed to be on the show. And then Dave was like, hey, do you want to do time? And I'm like, yeah.
How much did you do?
10, 15 maybe.
How was it?
Awesome.
It was great. I mean, I was so geeked, to be asked. And, it was Rock first and then Arsenio. Oh, it was Arsenio, then Chris Rock, then Intermission. No, then Jeff Ross, or then Intermission, then Jeff Ross, and then me, and then Dave.
Oh my God, what a lineup!
Yeah, it was pretty wild.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I just saw Chris at the Comedy Cellar, and they invited me to do something on his album. It was like he's doing sketches on his album. So I just went over and did this. I was a very 2 lines.
Yeah.
On his album. I did
That's
a
awesome.
Sketch. Yeah, it was. Oh yeah, I texted you. It was really
Yeah, that's
weird.
really
It
cool.
was like so last minute. I just see him at the cellar, and the guy was like, "Do you want to do something? It's around the corner. We're doing it now." And I was like, "I'm gonna go home. I'm tired." And I'm like, "Just go, you fucking asshole."
You almost didn't go.
But I'm saying to myself, I'm so much. I'm like, just go. I'm like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah, no.
I didn't even know what it was for.
Yeah, that's a Chris Rock album. It's still,
Exactly.
I don't have a relationship with Chris. Like the first time I really spoke to him was at that Dave show, and I was drunk, so that doesn't count.
He's one of the most one of the brightest guys I've ever met. Like he's like just about life stuff. He has a really if there's something going on and you want to bounce it off somebody, whether it's about the business or life, he always has a smart answer. Always. It's like a therapist.
Yeah.
He doesn't even know it. He doesn't even know you're picking his brain.
I'm friends with all the other Rocks.
Yeah.
Tony, Jordan. I just met Ken. Did you know Tony Rock has a twin brother named Ken?
No.
I didn't know this either.
What does he do?
Unless it's just Tony lying to you.
Yeah. No, he
Sorry,
sounds.
Tony, it's Ken Clifton.
He sounds and looks exactly like Tony too. That's the
I
weird
did not know Tony. He might have said that. What am I supposed to have Tony Rock in? Or were we not here when he was in the building?
I was.
We weren't here. Okay, because I love Tony. I haven't seen him in years.
I'll show you this guy. I took a picture of him. I was like, really? And he goes, yeah. I go, Tony's never mentioned. He goes, yeah, he's not.
You ever watch Tony eat a burger? I told Tony 15 years ago.
It's Tony's brother Ken.
Yeah, it looks just like him.
Yeah.
But nobody enjoys
Wow.
food more than Tony Rock.
Yeah, because he doesn't gain any weight from it.
Watching him appreciate a burger, I told it was one of them. It was like a work of art.
Tony has the most horrendous diet you'll ever see another human have, and he doesn't gain a pound.
Yeah, still the same, thin.
Wow. Why was he so appreciative about the burger?
I don't know, but he would just the way he would put the ketchup on and delicately treat it. Like he really, I always liked that about him. Like this is a guy who appreciates his food. He he doesn't take it for granted. He loves what he's eating. It was just fun to watch a guy appreciate food.
I eat
that
out
much.
of necessity, and I get fucking mad at myself after each meal.
Oh, me too.
You do?
I ate pretzels and tortilla chips in Tampa, and I'm just pinching my stomach before I walk on.
Well,
I mean, but you had the lamest snacks.
I know I do.
Like you're like, oh, I can't. I was so bad. I had tortilla chips.
All right, so
I remember Chubby Jim. He was so much happier.
He was.
I really wasn't. I was more depressed when I was fat than I am
Really,
now.
I would
Yeah.
love to. I mean, I just started losing weight. I don't know what the fuck's happening, and it's good. Could be AIDS. I don't know, but whatever. I'm happy with it.
Sure, whatever. I mean, that's the one. That people don't want to talk about the upside of AIDS. Yeah, that's right. It's a size 30 pants.
That's right.
Yeah. Lesions, whatever.
Yeah, there's the
let's call it acne.
Yeah, I'd feel if I were traveling all the time like you are, I would just want snacks all the time. I would want to treat
No,
myself.
that's one thing I've knocked out is snacks.
Yeah?
I stopped snacking altogether.
You can't manage though a diet though if you're going. I mean, unless you just bring your food with you.
No,
different countries.
I just don't eat. I try not to eat as much.
I see.
Despite how much I may like something, and I'm training jiu-jitsu 3-4 times a week now.
You know, where are you training?
With John Jack Machado in L.A.
I don't know. Oh, okay. Do you like it?
I love it.
Everyone loves it. I got to do it.
I just got my blue belt.
Congratulations,
6 months
man.
ago. 6 months ago, yeah.
I watched a video.
I trained with Henzo. I know you with Matt, so I trained with Henzo one day, and I trained with Hickson one day.
Oh man, yeah.
It was pretty wild to be with those guys.
Henzo is a weird guy. We should have him in here. He's one of the most
nuts.
charismatic people I've ever met in my life. Like,
oh yeah,
his energy. Like he's obviously a fucking he's one of the best ever.
Yeah.
But he's also he's an amazing energy. You can't not like Henzo, buddy. But like it's legit. There's no bullshit. But I watched a video of him choking a guy out on the floor. What they do is they grab you
cross collar,
a cross collar, and he was but he was talking about, and then you pull him into your chest, and he goes out.
Yeah.
And you watch him, and it's like that's what you can do to a guy with his jacket on. Just grab him and pull him in and strangle him out.
He's really big on the cross collar and going deep in the collar.
Yeah, Sarah told me that. He's like, I won't even give a guy a blue belt if he can't choke you out like this. He'll see it. Me and Matt Sarah have been on the train in the winter, and he'll see a guy in a winter coat and be like, oh, that's a gift.
That's exactly what I do. That's what I do. I'm looking at guys with jackets, and when I'm at parties or clubs or bars, and I see people knuckleheads, and I'm looking at what he's wearing. I'm like, all right, I can take his sleeves, I can take his jacket. I'm looking at everything on him now.
That's so funny.
Up it's his neck.
And there's video of Henzo going after some bouncer. Some guy was rude to him. This story, he doesn't have jiu-jitsu fucking expert distance.
I would love it, Jim.
No, Henzo always has a fight story.
Henzo's a fucking maniac. Like he told us some story about it was in the paper too about he beat up some guy for being disrespectful to his wife.
I don't know who Gracie is.
Grazie.
Henzo Grazie. He's very grateful.
Do you know how much I would love it, Jim, if you trained jiu-jitsu and you also didn't respect jiu-jitsu distance, so you started starting fights? Except you didn't know that you were not skilled
yet.
I
got beaten up.
Like it was after 2 lessons and you started doing karate kicks.
It happens, People want to test you. I was in the Philippines. Some guy, I was sitting there. I got into this lounge after the show. It was about 12 of us sitting around. We had this little section. I'm literally sitting there. I haven't moved. I haven't walked in the club and I sat down. I didn't leave my seat at all. Some guy was being a jerk and messing with somebody with our table, but I didn't see it happening. Just walked by and started rubbing the guy's beard. I'm like, the fuck is that? I didn't see it. Then the guy walks around to me, and he's like, hey, are you Russell Peters? And I'm like, yeah. And he puts his hand out, so I shake his hand, but I could see in his face he's a dick.
Yeah.
So he goes, get the fuck out of here. And I go, no, I'm not leaving. Right? And he goes, what are you doing here, motherfucker? Not like, hey, motherfucker. It was like,
right.
What are you doing here, motherfucker? And then I got really mad, and I was like, funny enough, I'm here fucking your mother. And I'm holding his hand really tight now because I'm looking at him because I'm sitting down and he's standing up. And then and he goes, oh, you're a hard handshaker. You're a firm handshaker. I go, I do jujitsu. He goes, so do I. I swear to God, he goes, let's see who has the best jujitsu. As soon as he said it, I pulled his arm straight, threw my legs up, put him in an arm bar.
Did you?
Yeah. And then he tried to fall forward, and I kicked him right in his face.
Good for you.
Yeah.
And in that moment, it's like all the hours and hours and hours of training. You were like, "This is the greatest thing ever."
I'm sitting here. I'm not fucking even getting up.
Yeah, that's
I didn't get
amazing.
out of my seat. This guy came and attacked me.
That's amazing. Wouldn't you like to learn how to do that, Jim?
I would love
And then I literally sat back up after they dragged him away. I just sat back up. Where's my drink gone? And I was mad. I was more mad that he spilt my drink. I wasn't mad about anything else.
The other people dragged him away.
I didn't raise my voice. I was just like, boop, boop, boop. Good night. Get out of here.
He found out who had the better jujitsu, I guess.
Yeah, who says that? Let's see who has the best
That's a movie line.
That's exactly what I said.
I'm so low self-esteem, I'd probably go, you do. Mine is not good.
Wow.
I had to respect my teacher.
I want to take it, though, just because
Just go with Matt. He's amazing.
Well, he's in Long Island.
Yeah.
Henzo has told me to come.
Henzo's here in the city.
Yeah, he's on 435th Street, I think. Matt took me down there and introduced me to everybody. I've interviewed a lot of those. They're great.
Even Paul Giamatti's doing jiu-jitsu on Billions.
Yeah.
And he trains at Henzo's.
Does he?
Yeah.
I got to do it.
in the show.
Wouldn't that be cool if in real life Paul Giamatti
Dude,
was just
you
in your
would love
jiu-jitsu
it.
class?
Everyone says I would love it.
It's addicting.
Is it?
Like I jones when I'm not training.
How much do you train? Like 3-4
Like
days a week?
3-4 days a week.
And
like
how long
I'm
is-
considering I might call Henzo tomorrow and try and train with him tomorrow.
What time do you go?
I usually go at my pace, usually around 1 p.m.
In the afternoon.
Yeah.
Do it, man. Why not?
Should. I don't know.
What the fuck else are you doing?
I know. I have no
You
reason.
would dig it, dude.
I'm very flexible.
And your confidence will go through the roof.
You know, you're a natural jiu-jitsu artist.
Watch this.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Oh, my
It's
God.
also not the first time you would have put your legs behind your heads.
Well, no, I'm not a bottom.
No, I meant for the cleaning.
Oh, I do like a good cleaning.
The old meat whistle there.
Give Daddy a cleansing.
So, Queens is on August 18th.
August 18th, Forest Hill Stadium.
Forest Hill Stadium.
Do we have to break?
In a few minutes, we will.
Oh, it's only 10:20. Okay.
Yeah, no. I was just
I gotta piss.
reminding people that they should go see Russell Peters, especially if you haven't seen him before.
And
He is-
especially if you have.
Russell's very funny. I've seen
Well-
Russell. I actually went to the Garden and saw you and
did?
stayed through the show, and I enjoyed it very much. I really like you. Were
I
funny,
was
man.
impressed that you stayed.
Of course.
I think I saw you at Radio City. I would like
believe
to
you
say.
did.
I believe I did, and
I
it was
believe
a fabulous
each,
show.
every time we've come here, it's obviously been a different regime, but
Right.
each time, a different person from the regime comes to a different show.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So who knows what'll happen August 18th?
Yeah,
Who
maybe
knows who's going to be there?
If I have a girlfriend at that point, maybe I'll go out and watch you shoot in Abu Dhabi.
That'd be good. You would love that, and I'm sure you can find a girl boyfriend out there. So
But I want someone to travel. No, not out there. You can't. That's illegal.
they're there. Trust me.
I want to. I do want to travel with, stuff like that. That's kind of why being single stinks a little bit because it's kind of fun to.
I
travel.
don't. That's fine. I think for me, traveling by myself is so much better.
I've been doing it for so many years though. Like I'm always going by myself. Like I'm in Tampa, just hanging out, and I like the other comedians were cool, but it's like you're doing shit, doing nothing.
Do people
Where were you?
I just side splitters. I did 6 shows there.
We're side splitters in Tampa.
It's in Tampa. It's a club. It's been there for 20 years. It's
I
great.
did the improv there once. I didn't like it.
Yeah, I think
It's
it
that
was
fucking
yes,
weird
big room. I don't like a big
Tiered-
room.
It was, but it's just, it was like high. It was like an opera house or
I
some
hate
shit.
it. Yeah, I didn't like it either for that reason.
Are people still trying to get you to do stuff from the first special?
No, people not anymore.
They've moved
Thank
on from it
gosh,
finally. Yeah.
I'm grateful that's over. Not
How long
over,
did it
but,
take?
It took a long time.
It did.
Sometimes people like yell out an old joke still. And you're like, what are you doing?
Right, like that's
exactly.
It's been a decade.
My
Like,
clothes.
what do you?
That special is from 15 years ago.
Oh
now.
my God,
Jesus!
What special?
The one that helped me get to where I am.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's like one of the first ones to go viral, right?
Yeah, I was the first YouTube guy.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like all these YouTube kids owe me something.
I think they do. You
Am I
set the
entitled
pace.
now?
You set
I
the
should
pace.
be entitled to
You should
something.
be, were you the highest earning comic last year? Or was it Kevin Hart?
Oh, it must have been Kevin.
You're
for
up
sure.
there, though.
Yeah, no,
Every
not
year you're
last
up
year. I
there.
wasn't on the list last year. I wasn't on tour last year.
Oh, you weren't on tour, yeah, but when you tour, you are.
Yeah.
Russell quietly makes that list every year.
He makes a lot of money for
You know, I
himself.
was
More money than almost any
I made it
comedian.
up to third at one point, and it never got mentioned. They were all like, they were all fawning over Jerry Seinfeld and whoever else.
That's
was-
just yeah. Well, we the comedian.
Here's what my thought is for the horse racing. He doesn't watch horse racing. He doesn't know anything about horse racing.
How'd the horse do that you bet on?
He took third.
Okay.
So I won not money. So I won money, but like not a lot.
I won not money.
I pretty much won not money. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
How did you lose $400 if you won money?
This money is not money. Well, there's a lot
I
of
want
free
money.
races.
Not. I did not won money.
Wait, if it's not money, then what is it? It's not.
So go ahead about the racing. I was just wondering, if you won that one, how did you lose?
Well, there were a lot of races before.
Oh, so you went with
But the white one is the best. Go ahead, say it.
Okay.
Oh shit. Yeah, I
You
lost
went with
a
some
lot
of the
money
prelims.
on like the trotters that are on like Gulfstream racetrack and Yonkers. I have no business betting these, but I was in this race book, so I wanted to do it.
You didn't know much about those races?
No.
No. You just bet on names?
I bet on names, and every once in a while I would bet a favorite who would break at the opening gate and come in dead last. So.
Okay, so the favorites did not do well.
No.
Okay. All right, so we're down this weekend.
Yeah, but that was physical money. Like that money's gone. Like I don't have to owe a bookie or anything, so that's good.
What do you mean?
Like,
I
I
don't
just
understand.
handed that money over to like the person. Well, it's not good, but
Well, I think he's saying that
I don't
he'd,
owe anybody anything.
right. He'd rather not have money than have somebody than owe somebody money.
Yes.
Is that right? Yeah. Right.
Correct.
Okay, so technically, since you did lose the money over the weekend, but you've already paid it,
Yes.
so technically you're even.
Even money. Even Steven.
So we're ready for next weekend.
Oh, we're ready for tonight.
What's tonight?
Baseball.
Oh, who's playing baseball tonight?
Sox are going to play the Orioles. I got to bet the Sox.
Ooh, that's not going to sit well with Travis.
He knows.
Orioles are not going to win tonight,
The
Travis?
Orioles are 19-42 or something like that.
It
They
doesn't matter.
suck.
Doesn't matter. That's how it is when a team's on a roll. They fucking come up against a team in the basement and get their dicks kicked in.
That's right.
Not the Orioles.
So you're betting the favorite, Anthony?
Where's the goddamn Orioles?
Yeah, I'm gonna bet the favorite tonight.
How are you gonna make money on that?
I'll risk a lot just so the Red Sox can beat the Orioles. I'll be fine.
Gotcha. Like you'll bet a lot of money so that the return is bigger.
So like if it's minus 200, it'll be 400 to win 200, and I'll be okay with risking that. If I bet that.
How much are you gonna bet? Do you think?
Probably like $50.
I'll bet more. You can't if you know they're gonna win. If you know if it's a safe bet, you can't just bet 50.
Exactly.
All right, I'll bet 100 then. How about that?
Go ahead, because we always know who's going to win in baseball.
I'll risk 200 to win 100.
There you
That's
go.
smart.
Okay. Thanks.
So we went from 50 to 200.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I like that. Good stuff. All right, cool, man.
Anthony should have a production piece ready to go. We worked on it.
Oh yeah,
it's good. It's ready.
Where is it?
Oh, good.
I sent it to Travis, and Troy has it too. Let me just.
All right.
I'll re-email. Hold on.
Let's put it. Let's hit that play button.
But by the way, I had said to him it could be a little long. You might want to listen to it over the weekend.
Okay.
Talk to Travis. See what Travis thinks.
Yeah,
Well, where are we at?
I didn't really see where he could cut it, so I said
Okay.
it was. I said it was. I mean, it was just about as long as it was before.
So Anthony came in with a production piece about how he hates Rob, and the first production piece was basically just Anthony talking over music, and we said this is the writing was always good.
Yes.
But we said this isn't, this is amateur hour. This is Bush League nonsense.
Yeah.
And then he came in with a second one, but he hadn't really taken our advice. It still didn't sound very good.
Right.
And honestly, the voiceover wasn't
Coming in for some reason.
acted properly. The directing wasn't any good.
Jim, what was that face?
So for that one, we said, no, this isn't going to work. The first one might even have been better.
How long is it?
Than that one.
It's a minute 19 seconds.
It's the mic's on.
It was on?
It's a minute 19 seconds.
Well, let me
Now
ask
it's
you. If it wasn't on, how did I hear him say a minute 19 seconds? Stop trying to rush to questions.
Because you're 3 feet away from him.
It was on.
It wasn't on.
It wasn't.
It was 100% on.
No, Travis heard it. Troy, was it on?
I'm not quite sure.
You're an audiophile. Can't go one way or the other.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was looking for the.
What?
No, audio.
Oh,
Yeah.
I like new songs.
All right. Well, Rob should hear this too. Should we bring Rob in if Anthony's going to be in here?
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, Rob should hear this too. Anthony, are you proud of this? This is your final copy?
My final copy.
Okay.
I'm very proud of this.
And you know what will be fair? If it's good, it's good.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Sit down, Rob. I want you to hear Anthony's production. All right.
Hey, kids. Are you looking for a yes man who does the bare minimum and laughs at jokes just to fit in?
Oh, absolutely.
How about a guy whose only contribution on the show is to simply hit the red button? Well, have no fear, because you can have your very own Rob action figure.
Oh, hey, wow.
Rob is not only our video boy, he's also a giant piece of shit.
I've heard some things in the past with maybe a previous intern that's come out.
Our part-time producer
I get paid part-time.
is your full-time doll. You can even dress him up in any of his 3 douchey, extra small, button-down shirts that he owns.
Oh, look who's in here. Little short Rob.
And if you act now, we'll give you detachable lips so he can kiss whose ever ass is going to further his career.
What's up with the bromance between Rob and Travis?
But wait, there's more. Pull the string on his back, and he'll cackle just like the little rat from Star Wars. With the new and improved Rob action figure, you can feel free to talk shit behind people's backs like an absolute pussy, but smile off air like a two-faced cunt. Call 1-800-ROBS a douche to order now.
I didn't follow up, and that's my fault.
Very good.
I'd say that was a good one.
Very
I'd
good.
Say,
And that's obviously you doing the voiceover, but you did a good job there.
yeah. I mean, yeah, I would.
That was good.
Yeah. I think it's a success.
I do too.
Third time's a charm.
Thank you, Rob.
Yeah.
I thought I put it in the successful folder.
You did. This time you did, bud. It's in the successful folder. Travis?
Rob's such an ass.
What did he say?
Third time's a charm.
Third time's a charm.
You just won't let him have it, huh, Rob?
Nah, he's right.
I don't understand why you threw yourself under the bus with the intern line.
Yeah, I don't. It's just, I don't know.
I mean, you told me.
Well, because he wanted to. I think he threw the intern line in there because he really wanted to say, "This goes beyond goofing around on radio. Rob is for real a piece of shit."
Every once in a while.
Is that what you think?
Every once in a while.
How am I the piece of shit in that situation?
Well, because you kind of brought it up on the air out of nowhere, and like Anthony was like, "Okay, that could really affect me negatively."
But then just don't do it.
I mean,
no, but I
mean, it's not.
No, the point was that you brought it up at like 10:49 when I had no time to rebut. So like I was just like, oh man, what a piece of shit move, and I put it in there. I mean,
you're
nothing...
both right. You don't have to do that.
Sure.
And Rob, you were a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Trust me, I've done many piece of shit things, so
Sure
I
you
know.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, I wouldn't say factually a lot of Shitloaf's promo is incorrect. Would you, Jim?
No. I don't think you could sue him for slander at all. You do cackle.
I do
right.
cackle like the this guy from Star Wars. Yeah.
The rat.
Yeah, the rat.
The
from
rat.
Star
He
Wars.
wasn't a guy. He was a rat.
Right.
Yeah.
The rat.
Is that right, Anthony?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sitting on Jabba the Hutt, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
You like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good stuff.
What
Are
did you think of the piece?
Yeah, it's fine. It was funny. I enjoyed it.
You didn't see it. You weren't laughing.
I smiled a little bit.
Did you?
Yeah, there was a couple grins.
You think unfair or fair?
No, it was fair.
His criticisms are fair.
Yeah, totally.
Two-faced cunt?
Two-faced cunt, yeah.
Okay.
Two-faced cunt. Yeah.
That's
Get out
kinda-
of the studio and then I just talk right behind your back.
You do sometimes for Anthony.
Not in a while, though.
That's true. Well, now
I've
you
been-
kind of sit at the desk and sit quietly,
Yes.
pouting a little bit.
I don't pout.
A little bit.
No pout.
There's pouting.
There is.
There used to be a little pouting.
Yes, there was.
Like last week?
I didn't pout last week.
There was probably some pouting.
No.
What'd you pout about last
No,
week?
that was just hot dog. Because
Right.
hot dog ruined my game.
What game?
Well, Rob, we all play a video game
we're
called
playing
PUBG, which I just love. I adore it. And Rob stopped playing it because Anthony started playing it. Like,
Sure.
that's him pouting. And so he stopped playing it. And then and you play it on your phone. And he finally started playing again. And he made it to like a very difficult place, like almost to the end of the game with him being the winner. And then Hot Dog called him. So his phone,
So my phone.
his
so
phone
it's
blanked
like,
out
oh,
and went.
hot dog's calling you. Pick it up. And I'm literally number 2 in the game.
Were you annoyed?
I was so pissed off because I've never won. And like Travis is always like, "Oh yeah, hey, I won today."
There's got to be a way to fix that where your phone won't ring.
You can turn
put it
off
in
the
do
pho-
not disturb. Yeah.
But he didn't
And
do that.
I didn't do that. Yeah,
So
he
you were
got me.
disturbed.
Yep.
He didn't think one of his coworkers would be that giant of an asshole.
Yeah.
Did Hot Dog know what you were doing?
Oh yeah, he was
Oh,
watching
he was
the
there.
whole time.
Oh,
I
see. Yeah.
He was literally standing over his shoulder.
Oh, good for him.
Yeah. Well, Travis,
1 minute.
do we add that into rotation, that production piece?
Oh, yeah, I'll put that in.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay, cool.
Great success.
We have 1 minute left.
Well, congratulations to you.
Good job, Anthony.
Thank you.
Let's keep up the good work. Let's ride this wave of momentum like nobody's ever ridden a wave before.
That's right. And Rob,
Is that right?
hopefully you'll come back with something strong.
Thank you.
I doubt it.
Oh.
But we'll see. Well, you got to throw somebody under the bus, right?
Yeah,
I'm sure Rob will come back very strongly.
Thank you to Russell Peters. I'm going to be at the Stress Factory Friday, Saturday in Bridgeport, Connecticut. Go to stressfactory.com. Chip live shows are on sale. They're both selling very well. September 14th, 15th.
And we'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, who's tomorrow?
Tomorrow, Travis?
Doug Benson.
Okay,
right
good.
outside.
Doug Benenson is tomorrow.
All right.
See you later.
This has been Jim Norton and Sam Roberts. To download today's show or listen on demand anytime, get the SiriusXM app or go to SiriusXM.com/on-demand. Follow Jim Norton and Sam Roberts on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Jim and Sam Show. Listen every morning, live starting at 8 a.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific. See you then.
Oops, I think our time is up. Bye-bye.